Amazing upset last night. Tremendous underdogs. They beat that Celtics in Boston at the Garden. By the way, James Worthy said it, so I can say it. But why do we play Adele? Why do we play Adele, Slea? Well, we play it today for one king, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Let the conversations begin. ... Plus, it is a Bud Light Football Friday, 9 days away from Super Bowl 58 in Vegas. We'll get you set. And it happened this morning. Punxsutawney Phil has confirmed that we've got an early spring on this Groundhog Day.
I got you, babe.
Of course, we love Groundhog Day around here because we can play the Family Guy drop.
Looks like we got 6 more weeks of winter.
No, not more winter. Early spring, Jack. Let's get to it. A feel-good Friday with the Travis and Sliwa Show right now.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not early spring here. It was pouring again this morning. So we'll see. I don't know if at Punxsutawney it's maybe a little bit different.
Right back into Gobbler's Knob.
They're right back into Gobbler's Knob. Good morning, Slea. How you feeling?
Good morning, Travis Rogers. Good morning. How are you feeling?
I feel like you have a different background today than the last time I saw you there. I feel like maybe the camera's at a different angle. I'm getting a little couch action out of your shot today.
Exact same background. Maybe the couch wasn't in it, but literally sitting in the exact same seat.
All right. You have like an LAFC background going on right there. It's gold and it's black. It's nice looking. It's nice.
Yeah.
It matches Jorge's hat. Buenos dias, Jorge.
Buenos dias, Travis.
Roars to you, Em.
Roars to you.
Berg is here, and we'll get to the Lakers. Weird day yesterday. Obviously, they win a game that nobody thought they're going to win.
I called it. I talked to myself calling it.
And then, of course, you had the rumor for a half second that LeBron James and Anthony Davis were on the trade block. That
Tradable.
Rich Paul already said no. Like literally, it was as simple as like, no, bro, we're not doing that.
But it's Rich Paul.
That's Rich Paul
the front
for sure.
office didn't see that game last night because, after last night, everyone's for sale.
I don't want to bury the lead. And the reason that Berg is here with us right now is
important things are happening.
Today was the day that when Jorge brought in, and Jorge, help me out here, La Rosca?
La Rosca.
Yeah. You got the baby.
I got the baby.
Which meant you had to bring tamales.
I did, and I brought a lot of tamales. I don't know how I think there's maybe 3 dozen tamales over there.
Well, I saw you like straining under the weight of the bag.
It's a heavy bag.
It was a lot of
tamales. And if
tamales.
Slea wasn't in Zimbabwe, he could be here eating with us.
A lot of masa.
Jorge, dos?
I had 2 already, yes.
Two. I had 2 as well. Greg, you're the leader in the clubhouse at the moment with 3.
I had 2, and then I was like, I'll have another one. So
How do you feel?
I'm at 3.
How do you feel?
I feel great. How can you not feel bad? You can't feel bad having tamales.
Ask me how I feel, Slea.
Okay, what I mean, Trav, and Berg, I don't mean you feel bad because you had them. I'm feeling just your level, your energy level. Trav, how do you feel?
Well, you know my eating schedule. I usually don't eat for the first time until somewhere between 2 and 3 most days. That's, I'd say, 5 days a week. That's kind of my schedule.
When you're at Pizza Hut.
There's little wrinkles thrown in like Pizza Hut, but typically I don't eat a lot, and I certainly don't eat a lot at 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I had 2 tamales. They were delicious.
Delicious.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Then I felt not great until about 20 minutes ago.
You back?
Now I'm back.
Now you're feeling good. You know what that means, Trav?
What's that?
You know what that means? You can have 2 more.
I could have 2 more.
2 red ones.
Yeah. I think the red one is the one that made me feel not. No, I had 1 red, 1 green. They were delicious. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, you're very
Greg,
welcome.
can you do me a favor? Greg, grab one of the tamales. Go to the conference room in the back. You know how they have like those drawers in the back there nobody ever goes into? Throw one back there. I'll have it on Monday, okay? Hide it.
You want
just hide it all the way back.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's in that in a drawer.
Jorge's already loading up a to-go bag for Brenda. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, take her a few.
Cody, have you had any of the tamales yet? No, he's had none. Emily has not gone in yet. So there's still some people here, so you might get shut out.
You might get shut out. Also, there's another show that's coming in here, and Mason Ireland's coming in.
We
already decided yesterday that this was just a Travis and Sliwa show tamale day.
So you decidid. But
we kind of decided without you.
Without me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we'd make executive decisions. Yeah. Do you have one of each?
No, so I had 2. I had 2
Are
of
there
the
3
green.
varieties
There's
in there?
3 varieties.
Yeah.
There's the chicken and the green,
Right, I
the
had
red
that.
and the beef.
I had that.
And then there is the chili and the cheese.
I haven't had that yet.
I wanted a chili and the cheese for the 3rd one, but I couldn't tell. And when I talked about it with Jorge, he just
Sounds
he
good.
put me the wrong way.
Yeah, I said, yeah, that's cheese. Yeah.
You wanted more cheese
exactly.
for yourself.
So I ended up with 3 of the chicken and the green chilies, which is fine. Like, give me the green and the chicken all day.
Yeah,
it was delicious.
That
Okay,
was
Greg,
really good.
where'd you end up buying them from?
So Alex, the security guard,
He subcontracted it.
I did subcontract it. Yeah. Well, because I was gonna go to Northgate and get
building
them.
a home.
I was gonna go to Vallarta and get them, but I said, you know what? Alex always gets delicious ones. They're always
succeeded.
moist. They're always good. There's always a lot of meat and cheese and mixed inside
Flavor's
of it.
good.
The
Everything's
flavor's
perfect.
good.
It's-
So
That I
passed
think
it.
is what changed Travis's mind on tamales, right, Travis?
Yeah.
That there's
Really?
like because you weren't crazy about
It was
them
not
in
like
the
you guys
past.
know how much I love Mexican food.
Yeah.
But tamales on the list of things I enjoy about Mexican food was down near the bottom.
Really?
It was not something that I was enthusiastic about. And everyone's like, oh, you haven't had the right ones. And maybe they were right. The first person that kind of turned me around a little bit, Beto. Beto brought some in that were unbelievable. Alex brought some in that were equally unbelievable. And now I'm all in. Like I am fully a tamale person. I finally got my hands on the right
Yeah,
ones.
once Alex brought them in and I started eating them, I've always loved tamales, but these ones, these are by far the best tamales I've ever had. It's not close.
Well, you said they're not too much, and there's a lot of filling.
There is.
And they're not dry. Sometimes they dry out, and they're
nice
not
and
very
wet
good.
because of the lard and whatever.
yeah.
It's perfect. It's just
Yeah, it was
like you
perfect.
bite it, it just dissolves.
Just kind
It's just
Little coffee on the side.
or tole champurrado, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or a Coke.
Oh yeah. Well,
about a
Coke,
Coke?
you could put a Coke with anything.
If
it's
I
delicious.
if I eat 2 or 3 more, do you think less of me?
I think more of you. Less. Are you out of your mind? Like, there's nothing you could do with like being gluttonous where I would think less of you.
Well, no. Okay, this is also why you think more of you is because if you have 5 tamales before you even start
Mason
the
and
1
Iron?
That's a
o'clock
great
show,
point.
that's impressive, brother. That's like somebody going out there and saying, you know what, I got 6-7 miles in before I even went into work. Now
Yeah,
for you,
except
it's
the
a little
opposite
bit
way.
different,
It's like the exact
but
opposite.
it's still impressive.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll have any more today because 3 is enough.
You should do like Morales at the All-Star Saturday night at the softball game where he had 9 hot dogs over the course of the 9
hot
hours
dogs.
of the
Oh,
shows.
that was
So you should look. You're already ahead of the game. You just have to get through 9 tamales by the time that Sedano and Cap are done.
So I weighed myself this morning and I was 182, and by the time I get home after
I'm
this, I'm gonna be
181.
You'll
190.
be 190.
I wonder if that guy who got 3 hot dogs for that movie that I went to see could also take down 3 tamales.
Oh,
in
a tamale
in a
is
movie.
much more aggressive than a
it's
hot dog,
So much more,
right?
All the
Am I-
masa, and it's thick.
Like
How about they just knew what his order was? Hey, welcome back.
Great. Hey, buddy.
3 hot dogs,
dogs,
right?
that when Greg goes to Alex, he's gonna be like, I know more tamales.
Yeah.
Like,
3 dozen,
he's
right?
gonna know you're on.
3 dozen.
You got 3 dozen?
I think it's either 2.5 or 3 dozen. Yeah,
It's a lot.
So, but the woman that Alex go to, he was talking to me about it. Someone before Alex got 5 dozen.
Wow.
So she was crazy busy.
Because today is the 2nd. It's the day.
Oh, that's
of.
right.
Because
That's
everybody's
right.
that's why this is
Everybody's doing
happening.
it.
A lot of
It's not
people
just
got the
you.
baby in La
I
Rosca.
didn't
Exactly.
even. I didn't
Mike, they
even
got
put
it.
it together.
Oh, did she?
But she's just like, hey,
She's excited.
Yeah, she's like, I
You
got
should have
it.
said,
Excited,
give me the money. I got to go buy tamales.
Yeah, but thank you very much, Alex. Alex is the best for doing
So
that.
what's also the feast today? Why is it
Gracias.
specifically tamales?
It's because they celebrate El Día de la Candelaria. That's what they call it.
Okay.
So, that's when you get the little monitos, you celebrate Dia de la Candelaria. So you do it by bringing tamales or just bringing an offering.
Same
For
thing,
your
Middle
people.
Eastern culture,
Yeah.
exact same.
Yeah.
I'm
With
on
coffee,
board.
Alan, with
Yep.
coffee.
I'm on board. Yeah, this wasn't dried fruit, Slea, but we ended up in the same place.
But if you are
Take the baby
and
out
All
of the
weekend,
naan.
all weekend, I'm gonna have coffee, tea, and dried fruit, just so you guys know.
if you're in the Travis and Sliwa Show community and you are also eating tamales today, send us some pictures. We'd love to
Yes.
see your tamales.
Yes.
You got the baby.
You got it for sure. Slea, like you said, you knew that the Celtics were going to, miss all of their threes. Austin
easy.
Reeves, how many did he make last night? 14? 17? 100?
I think he hit.
He just hit
more
another
than
one.
the Celtics.
Unbelievable. He had
Easy
7
money.
threes last night. D'Angelo was really good. D'Angelo had 17 assists.
14.
14, I'm
assists,
sorry.
yeah.
Got 7 on the brain. 14 assists. He was good. And not only they win, they really were kind of in control of the game most of the night. It felt like they just had an energy, a bounce to them that we haven't seen in a long time. And, of course, the news. And news is wrong. There was some speculation that LeBron James and Anthony Davis both might be on the trade block. We're getting closer to the trade deadline. We're under a week to go. And at least for, 12, 15 hours or so, there wasn't any word on it one way or the other until this morning that Rich Paul basically said no.
Okay, let me first go to the game because, listen, here's the reality. I'm not trying to tell you that Lakers now, watch out, they're going to be the favorites in the West. But, damn, did it not feel good to just see the Lakers play good basketball for a game? I feel like even when LeBron and Anthony Davis are out there, it's a struggle. It's, how many different times it's like the gears are just – nothing is smooth with the Lakers right now. I don't know what the hell happened yesterday. Maybe this is exactly what's supposed to happen with the Lakers. None of us have any idea what this team is. But to see them actually put a game together where you felt like, hey, these guys are they actually hustling on plays? Are they playing for a full 48 minutes? Hey, what do you know? Guys are playing defense. It's kind of pathetic to say that, but it was refreshing yesterday to see the Lakers actually have a performance where you thought from beginning to end, this was actually kind of fun to watch.
It kind of looked like when they play Oklahoma City or Houston or Atlanta, when they have those really young, fast teams that are constantly going up and down the floor, playing defense, just really have a lot of energy. That's what they looked like last night.
Because they were younger and faster.
Because they never stopped, which led to the speculation of what you were talking about, Trav.
What Emily said, right? First of all, there's a lot here, and we're going to unpack it all over the course of the show. But there's life after LeBron James. You got to see it last night. And I'm not saying that move on, but it's going to happen eventually, and it will be fine. And you're going to have an opportunity to see a younger, quicker, more athletic team. And I'm not saying you got to do it today or even this season, but I think there was a little glimpse here. You guys, and I'm going to revert back to my normal self here just for a second. I'm going right back to optimistic Travis after that. This way, you guys ever do this? When you were in high school or maybe even in college or whatever, when you had a multiple choice test that you weren't particularly prepared for, and you just kind of went in there and you guessed a little bit. You used a little bit of deductive reasoning and you got it down to one or two and you guessed a bunch. Then the test comes back a couple days later and you're like, oh, I actually did okay, right? But you weren't prepared at all. You got lucky. You're going to get a D on the next test because you still don't know the material. That was the Lakers last night. They got a little lucky.
They're going to have a D on the next game?
They got a D in the 2 games before it, and they got an A last night. Like, they are a C student. This is what they are. They had a good night where they guessed right, and they made some shots, and they did have energy, Al. I agree. They did have a little bounce to them. But it doesn't change a damn thing. They're still a mid team. They're still 25-25 with 2/3 of the season in the bank. This isn't like, hey, they're on. No, they're not. They had a night where Austin Reeves got hot, where D'Lo was really good, where the Celtics missed 1 billion shots. That's all that happened. Nothing really changed.
Yeah, they hit 19 3-pointers.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen on a regular. And when they do hit 19 to 23 pointers, which they're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league, they're going to be close or win those games. It's great. But you know what? No matter what, and Slea, I'm sure you're going to agree with me, they beat the Celtics.
No, that's cool.
You beat the Celtics. I don't care how. I don't care why you beat the Celtics. Well, it feels great.
And I actually put the Celtics to the side. They won a game. Winning games is so tough for the Lakers. Winning games and like I said, I go back to it. And Trav, I think that's actually a great example of you're a D student pretty much most of the time. Occasionally you're going to get an A. When it all averages out, you're a C student, and the Lakers are 25 and 20. It's literally the definition of average. But again, I guess there's a little bit of that came out of nowhere. LeBron and AD didn't play. Celtics have, the best record in the NBA. And then when the dust settles, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess this is the Lakers. You have no idea what you're going to get every single night. But when the averages average out, they're average.
They're exactly what they are. The season is 2/3 over. They've won half their games. They've lost half their games. They're like, well, they finally got a win. Well, they get a win about every other game. Exactly every other. Maybe not in that order, but that's where we are. So it is what it is.
That's something Billy Mack said last night on the broadcast. They were 3-3 in their last 6.
Yeah.
They were 5-5 in their last 10.
They're
25 and 25.
50.
Like it all worked out. Like they are 500.
So the rumors, they've already been squashed. But should we unsquash them? Should we talk about why that may not be the worst idea in the world? That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slea, 710 ESPN. And for the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Coming.
Hey, John Ireland here, and I'm at my local Ralph's in front of the BBGO display, and here's why. The Lakers and Ralph's are doing a sweepstakes, and you could win courtside seats to a Laker game. The question I get more than anything else is, how do I get in those courtside seats? This is how. You come to a local Ralph's, you spend at least $10 on BBGO. Then you take your receipt and you send it to this web address, lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. That's lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. It's the contest runs from now through February 6th. So all you gotta do is go to Ralph's, get some BBGO, and send in that receipt. Well, as long as I'm here. You can never have enough BBGO.
BBGO, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Person dropped off food at your house twice in one day? I don't
Great
know.
question.
Travis and Sliwa
On 710 ESPN.
Now, you're doing the show today from the secure location, the undisclosed location, the Sliwa compound. Are you missing the tamales?
Yeah, I tried convincing Greg yesterday. I'm like, it'll be a good day to bring him in. You should bring him in on Monday. He's like, yeah, I'm definitely going to go ahead and bring him in tomorrow. Yeah, I am missing them. I mean, cold day or cold morning like it is, to have a nice warm tamale sitting in your stomach. I mean, that seems like a nice combination.
It was pretty good. Jorge, tell me, like, the the tradition that today's the day where you bring in the tamales. If you don't do it, is there like bad luck component,
no,
nothing like that?
To it. It's just like you just didn't do it, you know.
So just go to hell.
Crazy.
No, you should have made there's this big curse.
Oh yeah, Greg.
Your
Yeah,
family.
you would have had all bad luck all day today,
Well,
Greg.
no, the reason I'm asking, not because I want Greg to have bad luck necessarily, it's that we could have waited for Slea to get back, but I thought there was some like it has to be on this day.
No, I mean you can always push
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Well, maybe
More for you guys.
Maybe you guys should make him bring him in on Monday again.
Emily's response said it all. She goes, yeah.
I'll
Wait
bring
for
the dry
Al.
fruits on Monday.
No need.
Yeah.
Bring that Turkish coffee on Monday. That's what.
Yeah. Well, look, we should all take turns bringing something in other than me. I'll just sit here and eat. You all bring in things from, you know.
You brought rice and beans from the SC Notre Dame game.
Like 3 days after the fact,
I know.
after I'd eaten. Yeah, I should have done that a couple of days earlier. That was good. When does football season start? We can do that again. That was a good day. So let's start with this. The rumor yesterday that gets floated out there that LeBron James is. There at least are discussions about whether or not the Lakers would trade him.
NBA peeps are talking.
Right. NBA peeps are talking, which is, and again, this is where your reputation, right? Like if it comes from Shams, if it comes from Woj, if it comes from Dave McMenamin or Trudell or somebody like this, then it means one thing. And if it comes from somewhere else, then you got to kind of check your sources, as they say, right?
Can I say in this circumstance, it's a little bit different. Not a lot different, but a little bit different. The fact is that it's coming from somebody who's at KTLA Sports, right? Somebody that's been in the market for a little bit. I think I read the tweet saying to myself, okay, yeah, I don't think something's going to happen. Come on, guys. They're not trading them. That's how I read it. But it wasn't – I don't know how to properly put this. It wasn't from like a random blogger or something like that.
It didn't show up on 12th page of a Reddit thread.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was somebody that does this, but maybe isn't the guy that you think of first, right? But it's, oh, okay. You said something this morning now when we were talking about this I think is important. The Lakers would not do this. And short of LeBron going to them and saying, listen, I think it's time for me to move to the next spot. Let's find a way that this works out both of us. Then I think that they would, look and see what's available to them. But generally speaking, they're in the business of having the biggest names, having the biggest stars, putting on the best show, and LeBron James certainly checks those boxes. I'm with you. The question is, should they talk about it? Should they consider it? Should they look at this as and like you would look at any other aging player that still has a lot of value, that still is somebody that you would presume other NBA teams would be interested in adding to their roster, and could it jumpstart the next era of LA Laker basketball? Because we're at the end of the LeBron James era, whether it's this season, whether it's next season, but it is certainly sooner than later. When do you decide to flip the page on it? And is a trade just absolutely not any sort of backroom, one thought, wild idea conversation at all? And should it be?
So I think having the thought about it, isn't that your job as a front office executive?
Sure it is.
No matter what, it's we always have to think of what's in the best interest of the franchise today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, however you want to look at it. So I think it has to be part of the thought process for any of these players, period. Now, listen, that doesn't mean they're going to go out and trade the player. I think, can I put it this way? I think if you're LeBron James and you're looking at this Lakers team and you're asking the question of, do I still have a legitimate chance to at least compete for a championship? I mean, last year they were in the Western Conference Finals. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I just know that it wasn't too long ago where they were in the Western Conference Finals. I think this year is so much different because I don't think they could just flip that switch on. I don't believe that. I believe that this roster, what it is today, is probably what it's going to be in 10 games, probably going to be in 20 games. Now, because it is LeBron and Anthony Davis, can they potentially make some type of run? Do a lot of things got to go their way? Yes, because they've done it before, so we give them the benefit of the doubt. But I think any franchise that's out there, it's okay to have it in your mind. I don't care who the player is, and especially somebody that's 39, to think, what is life after LeBron James? Isn't that part of your responsibility?
Of course it is.
Yeah, I think it's honestly irresponsible to have doors that you won't open. I think as a front office, you have to consider every single door in front of you. That there's this option and there's this option. But I think that I kind of get caught up with this idea that like we couldn't trade him unless LeBron wanted to. He doesn't have a no trade clause.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers could trade LeBron James if they wanted to trade LeBron James and actually get something for him. Because if the end it happens where you just keep LeBron James, the season's washed, you keep him and he just retires, you don't get anything from LeBron.
I'm with you on this because I think this is where it's interesting. I think you at least have the conversation. It's not that you just do it because it's over, but I'm with you because, Al, here's the thing. Putting together what you said and what Emily said, this team is extremely unlikely to compete for a championship. Extremely unlikely. Can they win a series? Yeah, probably. Can they maybe win two? Yeah, but to go through 4 rounds of the playoffs feels like a bridge way too far. So the question is, can we fix it in the offseason? Can you get back to that level? And then your answer depends on, if you think you can, then you probably don't do this. But if it's even, you know what, I think we're done, then you really have to think about, because who's gonna say no? Who's gonna be the one that you have to say, hey, hold on, here's why we did this. I don't. And Laker fans, I want to hear your opinion on this. 877-710 ESPN 877-710-3776 is. I don't know if Laker fans would stage a mutiny if they found out that you were looking to make this team better long term, and a move like that included at least the consideration of moving LeBron James. I don't think if it were Kobe Bryant, they'd burn down the city.
He's not Steph Curry.
He's not Steph Curry. This is a guy that came here that's won a championship in the 5+ years that he's been here. Yep. It's been a mixed bag, but in that mix is a lot of success. There are a lot of highlights, a lot of big moments. But I think that Laker fans are intelligent enough and certainly wise enough to know that the next great version of the Lakers is probably down the road a couple of years. And the sooner we can reel that in closer to us, the better.
Well, this is what I'd say. I'm not in the trade LeBron James camp. I'm just not. Let me go. What
if you could just get a bunch of picks? You could get some really good
I'll
players.
tell you why. Because we were just talking about this a week ago, that the Lakers have the potential this upcoming summer, if they don't make a move, to have 3 first-rounders to potentially move, to go get a bona fide, who you would think is, you can call it a third star, whatever you want to describe, but somebody that you think will play with LeBron and Anthony Davis and then will eventually be a part of the Anthony Davis and whatever that future looks like for the Lakers. I just remember this, and I'm not telling you that this year is going to be saved, because I don't know if it is, and I don't know what they're going to do between now and February 8th. I still like the idea of going to get a player, if they can go get DeJounte Murray, because you want him for multiple years to come. I'm not in the – I get the concept of it, but I know that the Lakers have a much better chance of competing for a championship over the course of the next couple of years with Bron on that roster. And I've seen the Lakers – just continue to find a way to get superstar after superstar. They're not the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not some of these other teams out there.
Doesn't that make it more likely that you could move on from them because you're always going to be able to get the next one? To your point, that I get it. You just said that there's a chance to win a championship in the next couple of years. Maybe the answer is there isn't a way to win one in the next couple of years with LeBron. It just doesn't exist. So, all right, let's move to the next one.
But can I say this now? You were one a couple years ago that you thought to yourself, guys, this is it, the run's over. And they did get to the Western Conference Finals, that the run wasn't over. And I know Laker fans aren't wanting to put up a banner of getting to the Western Conference Finals. I understand that, but just think about what they were able to accomplish when we thought, hey, this thing is all said and done.
It's been 2 years. Right, it's been 2 more years have come off the clock. It's different. It's not 2 years ago, and I get there's that little dead cat bounce, right, where you're like, okay, we're better, but are you good enough? There's a difference between can you get better and are you good enough, and I think that's exactly where they are right now. What they're trying to figure out. Can we still be good with him? Well, you're 500 through 50 games. Is that good? No, it's not. Is it awful? No. Could you get a little better with a marginal trade? Yeah. Is it good enough? No. So which of those 2 lanes do you want to be in? And I think what you said is really important. We got some phone calls that I want to get to here, but what you said of just simply the Lakers have always been able to attract the guy. Whoever the guy is, they haven't gone long without one of those guys. the next one might already be here, A. And B, if he's not, you have a chance to go get one pretty easily because of what you said. They're the Lakers. They always get that guy. That's coming up next. It's Travis Slea, 710 ESPN. No football this weekend, Slea, but now is a great time to put Prize Picks on your phone because you're going to want to get in on this. Go to prizepicks.com/710. Enter that promo code 710 for a $100 first deposit match. They're giving you a freebie. Patrick Mahomes, more or less than 0.5 yards passing. I like his opportunity to go over that number, more than that number. Travis Kelce, 69.5 yards in receiving yardage, more or less. That's Prize Picks. Pick 2 to 6 players and win up to 10 times your money.
I got a couple NBA picks for tonight. Brandon Ingram, former Los Angeles Laker, more or less than 22.5 points against the Spurs. And then on the other side, Victor Wembanyama, 23.5 points, more or less. I'm going to go more for Ingram. I'm going to go less for Victor Wembanyama. Over 7 million sports fans have already signed up. I'm one of them. Travis is another one. Watch your favorite players and get paid doing it. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app. Use that code 710. That's code 710 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Steve Mason and John Clutter live from LA Live. Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Just because it's Friday and maybe some of you are working from home or maybe you're taking a day, that doesn't mean you don't get to send in your ass sleaze. So get on it and send them to me at Travis Rogers, send them to M at Emily Hebel, send them to Jorge at JabCamLA, send them to all three of us at the same time, but Ask Slea coming up in about 10 minutes from right now.
I just want to know where Slea, what foreign country are you in currently?
LAFC country.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Well, I
can't give
you any details. Is it cold in there? Wherever you are, it must be cold. He's got a puffy jacket on.
Why is the puffy even in our studio?
Yeah, but I know it's 40 degrees in here. I know why you wear it in here.
It's probably 44 here. 44 here. Could I tell you something that threw me off? Can I tell you something that threw me off yesterday? Yes, there is. Morales was kind of breaking down the Laker game yesterday. So he threw me off because he was actually, I was waiting for him to, when I'm getting quotes for him that they could play defense, how they were playing on the floor, I'm like, Chris, you're throwing me off, bro. What is going on here? Are you breaking down the game for me? Morales, for a quick second yesterday, I was ready for him to go, hey, they should go box and one right here, and they got to stop using the screen and roll. The guy threw me off. I didn't know he kind of had his basketball knowledge there.
Box and one. You used the box and one. Was it Morales? Did he actually say box and one?
No, he didn't say box and one.
Oh, okay.
Box and
that
one's
would be
like
amazing
a very,
if he did.
Yeah, box and one. I might have been the only guy that played pickup ball and be like, guys, we're playing a box and one. And then half the guys would walk off.
Were you the one?
Half the guys would walk off the floor like, yeah, we're not doing this, brother. We're not doing this.
What could they get for him? Let's just play this game for a second. We were talking about a little bit that, and again, I think we're all on the same page that it's not going to happen. No. That at best it was entertained for a fleeting second, and somebody said, guys, what are we talking about here? We're not going to do this. And fine, whatever. What would you get for him? Because there's not a lot of places that would empty their bag to get him because he's in his 21st season. He's 39 years old. He only really plays one end of the court on a regular basis at this point.
But in the playoffs, he does play both.
I agree, but you're talking about the shortest of short windows, and to
trade
a player
an example?
like that, sure.
Can I give you an example? It has to be I'm going to throw a team out there, and this is the only one that I could think of. It has to be they also have you want to call it an absurd contract. I don't know how you want to describe it. Harrison Barnes makes a lot of money for the Sacramento Kings.
So dance of the lemons type stuff.
It has to be he's going to a team where they're saying that's the missing piece for us to literally have a chance of nobody here has won. Nobody understands how to win. And LeBron on this team, and there's another player on that roster that you can get off your books, but they're going to give you draft compensation. It's got to be something like that because you tell me you're right, Trav, that somebody who is 39 years old in his 21st season, and you're probably going to have him for a couple of months, and then he's going to decide what he wants to do after that since he has a player option. I don't think you're getting – if you think you're going to get a haul back or something like that, I don't think you are.
You're not. And the only reason you would do it is if you want to accelerate the next, right? I want to get to the next chapter in this book because there aren't places where if you drop LeBron James in tomorrow – they go from wherever they are right now because we know the favorite. A team like Denver's not going to do it. Milwaukee is not going to do it. The Celtics are not going to do it. These are the teams at the top,
Sixers.
right? Right. There's only a very few places that would even do it, and the only reason the Lakers would do it is because I just want to go to the next thing. I want to wipe the chalkboard completely clear and start over. And the only thing that's written on that chalkboard is Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves. And from that, we're starting from scratch. And by the way, Darvin Ham's name is not on that chalkboard either. We are AD, Reeves. What's next? How many picks do we have? How much money do we have to spend? What are the free agents that are becoming available? That's the only reason they would do this. But what do you get coming back is almost irrelevant. But the other side of it is I need to know what I'm getting. And what are you getting? You're getting a guy in his 21st season who's still good, but is he the thing that puts you over the top? Not on any of those teams.
Yes. Yeah, well, not on. I think it has to be that.
Where
that
could
type
you
of team.
add him? So, let's just do the game real quick, Greg. Like, tell me where, if you dropped him in, that all of a sudden it's like, okay, they're not considered a title contender, but now they are.
So I think there's just maybe one or two. The one that immediately comes to mind, and you're not going to get anything back. Nothing back comes out. So just the spot that would make the most sense in my brain is Dallas with Luka and Kyrie Irving. He loves to play with Kyrie. You put LeBron on that specific team. There's not a lot of defense on that team, but you put those three guys together, they have a chance at a title. Now, obviously, coming back, I have no idea who's on that roster. I don't know anything about the draft picks. You're not going to get anything back. But those three together, I think, can challenge for a title.
I got one too. Okay, and again, this is us literally just playing a game together, of trying to figure out if he wanted out. Lakers said, "Hey, let's move him as well." All those align. It's a team like Minnesota. It's a team like, and I go back, I mentioned Sacramento as an example. It's a team that they got talent. It's not that they don't have talent. It's just we don't know how to do it once you get to the postseason. We don't know how to do it once you get to the playoffs. It's a team like that. It's a team that is on the reason why I say a team like Minnesota, I don't think a lot of people think Minnesota is going to come out of the West because why? They just haven't gone through that grind before of a long playoff series, and they got out of it. You could say, well, no, Gobert, Mike Conley, they did it in Utah, but they weren't the stars of that team. It's a team like that I think would at least make LeBron think I got a shot. It would make the other team think they have a shot, and whatever the Lakers would get back in return.
Here's another team, and it's not only been coming into my mind, it was also floated out on Get Up this morning, but what are the Knicks? You know, the Knicks are a team, again, that might be an advantageous spot for LeBron to land, so might change the rich.
I think it's one of the few places he would be interested in.
Like Minnesota, he's never going to go to Minnesota. He's never going to go to Sacramento.
Well, he could go there and leave in 3 months when it's all done.
He's not going to go there. He's very concerned about where he is.
It would change the Rich Paul aspect of it. It's like, oh, it's off the table. Oh, but maybe if I go to New York, that team seems like, again, like we said, hasn't had the success in the postseason as we've wanted to do.
They're a really good team, too.
They are a really good team.
With Jalen Brunson.
But this is my point. Okay, they seem to be on the track of actually making good decisions with the right guys, the right moves. Like the Knicks, the arrow is pointed up. Mm-hmm. Do you really want to throw all in for a 2-month run? I this is what I'm talking about. Like, because it's got to hit, and it's got to hit right away. Like when the Lakers, when they got him 6 years ago, there was still some runway left, and you knew that it was going to draw a lot of other things. You were kind of in a place where you had nothing else really going on. It's like, let's go all in with this. This is I got one throw of the dice, and I have to hit the number, and if I don't even get a chance to throw them again.
So the thing with New York, and which I think, and Al, I think you'll understand this too, is like they've gone on like a 9-game winning streak without Julius Randle. So the fact
is,
Jared
Vanderbilt rolls in there and shuts him down tomorrow night.
Right, exactly. But so without Julius Randle, so if you want to get somebody who has a decent sized contract to come back, we don't want Randle back. I'm just saying that the idea is that you could send him there, get Randle and a couple other pieces back with maybe some draft picks. Then there's something there to be in New York and in that big
if
market.
I'm the Knicks, I don't do it.
I don't either.
I don't either. And I think, Trav, I think that's ultimately your point. Your point is, even if this was entertained, how would it make sense for all sides to begin with?
It doesn't fit. To find a team that's willing to throw all in for a sliver of a shot and that makes sense for the Lakers to do it like that, those two things don't line up. They just don't.
The one thing I would say, and this would probably be the only one, let's say Lakers get to the offseason and this is how things just panned out, right? The Lakers, they get to the playoffs, they lose in the first round. I'm just hypothetical, right? And it's Bron kind of saying to himself, all right, do I want to continue to do this with the Lakers, or do I go when I'm 40 years old and try to join a team and I could set my marker of what I'm making? That's the only way, I think, what we're talking about. He joins a team, he's in a market that he wants to be at, and he doesn't have to get paid $50 million to do it.
All right, we got a bunch of calls. We're going to get to as many of them as we can, starting at around 11 o'clock. So make sure that you sit tight, especially you who want to talk about the tamales. We're going to get to you go to the top of the list. We're going to get to everybody for sure. We got an Ask Slea coming up.
Is Job on the line?
Minutes.
Is Job there to talk to you
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We need some Job-like people, though.
No, Job-like people.
Job adjacent?
Job adjacent, because they've got some wild theories. out
Trev,
there.
you should have his personal cell, and you guys should text over the weekend and then report back on Monday.
I did get quite a few texts from people I haven't heard from in a while. Like, dude, what the hell got into you? I'm like, Joe bothered me.
What happened is Trav's at a calorie deficit.
Yeah, well, not today. Not today. I'm
made
up
up for it.
My needle on my gas tank is all the way over to the right, and it's filled with tamales. That's absolutely going to happen. Ask Slea coming up next. And right now, 877-710-3776. Caller number 7 will win tickets to see NASCAR's Clash at the Coliseum. 877-710-ESPN. Caller number 7 wins. Ask Slea straight ahead. Travis Slea, 710 ESPN.
Boom! How do you like that?
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Hey, John Ireland here, and I'm at my local Ralph's in front of the BBGO display, and here's why. The Lakers and Ralph's are doing a sweepstakes, and you could win courtside seats to a Laker game. The question I get more than anything else is, how do I get in those courtside seats? This is how. You come to a local Ralph's, you spend at least $10 on BBGO. Then you take your receipt and you send it to this web address, lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. That's lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. It's the contest runs from now through February 6th. So all you gotta do is go to Ralph's, get some BBGO, and send in that receipt. Well, as long as I'm here. You can never have enough BBGO.
BBGO, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
At 45, Ask Slea, and Ask Slea is presented by our friends at Harrah's Resort SoCal. Find your funner state of mind with a visit to Harrah's Resort SoCal, voted best resort in funner California. From dining to unwinding, you'll find fun around every corner. Learn more at harrahssocal.com. Let's get to it. Ask Slea right now.
All right, Al, here we go. We're going to start with Manson the Clown, who writes, how long does Slea wait in a restaurant for the waiter to come take his order until he stands up and storms out with Lady Slea? Do you quietly walk out, or do you storm out, flailing his hands and yelling, followed with a bad Yelp review?
That's good. No, I like all that. Okay, so a couple things here. I'm not much of a I'm not going to go leave a review on Yelp. That's just not going to happen. It's a lot of work, too. What I should do is if I have a positive experience, I should probably turn to that. I'm also not going to walk out throwing my hands up like this, but 100% I'm going to get your attention. I'm going to find a way to get your attention. Even if I have to kind of walk up and say, hey, can we get a server, please? We've been sitting here for 10 minutes, and nobody's come to us. 10 minutes, I'm not going more than 10 minutes without trying to flag somebody down. That seems like a fair amount of time.
Let's say you're unsuccessful with the flag down.
Yep.
How much longer do you sit there before you're like, we're out of here?
5 more minutes.
Yeah.
But there's a 5-minute grace period. I actually put my alarm on all the way as high as I can. If that alarm goes off, I'm out of here. I'm going across the street, brother.
Yeah, that's the dance, right?
Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that's the time. Well, I if I'm being perfectly honest, I would
A little too long?
probably. I think it's a little too short for me. I would probably wait a little because you said it. I'm already here. I've already burned 15 minutes off the clock. I don't want to start all over again somewhere else. Like, to your point, at that point, you go over to the bar, you go to the hostess and say, hey, look, we've been sitting here for a few minutes. Can you send somebody over? That maybe 20 or 25, if literally no one's come, then you're out of here and you're like, okay, I'm never coming back to this place. But I don't think I'm in my car down the road at minute 16. I don't think I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think there's some places where, especially if there's a place that you've gone to for a while, and I'll use as an example. There's a place we went to for a while and always had pretty good service. And then the moment that service is not there, or you feel like they're just not having a good day, it almost makes it worse because you're accustomed to good service from that place.
You give them one more try, and if you get a bad, then we're done and we're on to the next spot.
Then I'm on Yelp.
All right, this next one is from Rita Rubin. He says, if you wait till the last minute to buy a Valentine's gift for Lady Slea, are you shopping at a flower shop, supermarket, or just a random street vendor or the corner to get the gift?
I'll do flower shop for Valentine's Day. You know, I think the grocery store is perfect for just out of nowhere. Like, it might just be something where you're out grocery shopping. You know what? She would like some flowers. I know this will be a nice surprise. Let me grab that along with whatever I got. I think Valentine's Day, you know, we only have a few of these where it should be a little bit extra, should be a little special, and it's when you get ripped off the most and you're standing in line with 10 other dudes who are also doing the same exact thing. I would go to a flower shop.
The flower shop is not a bad call. Here's why I think the grocery store might be the sneaky way out. Because, A, you can get flowers. Now, maybe that's not exactly what you're looking for, but there's going to be something that you can do. But here's what you do. You go in there and you buy all the ingredients for her favorite thing. And you put them and say, I'm going to make you your favorite thing tonight. And here's a little flowers, you put a little bottle of wine, and you put in the work. Like, you can save it with just buying groceries. But it's got to be the thing that she likes the most. Like, let's say you're a steak guy and she likes salmon. You're going to have to make salmon that night. That's fine, but you're going to have to, and make sure it's the preparation is what she likes, the sides are what she likes, her type of wine, little flowers on the table. You can escape forgetting it by just buying groceries for that night.
Do you also say, and babe, don't pay attention to these 3 bags here that have Clorox, trash bags, and pickles?
Yeah, you can't get the staples, right? You can't, like, why do you have a bag of apples and peanut butter for the lunch? Don't worry about that. That has nothing to do with it.
Hold on. I like this because I have a different answer from you guys.
Okay.
You go with the street vendor because you can get up to 4 of those bouquets and you can negotiate the price for a cheaper price.
Okay.
If you go to the flower shop, you're going to pay those $80 for just that dozen.
I'm demolished.
If you go to the grocery store, you're going to spend more than $80 because you're buying groceries and you're buying the flowers. If you go to the guy at the corner selling them, you probably can get oranges, you probably can get peanuts, you can probably get caramel apples,
some fruit,
and then you can get 4 bouquets of flowers for $50. Support your street vendors out there, people.
Well, Jorge, the only hole in that theory there is Trav gets his flowers from Costco, which he's saving some money doing it that way.
You can't go wrong. It's a great way to do it. Jorge.
All right, so I got, we had a ton of food this week. We had Pizza Hut, we talked about In-N-Out, and then right now we're talking about tamales. So Cap from Whittier wants to know, if you had to eat one thing for a whole week, what would you rather have? Tamales, In-N-Out, pizza, or vegetables? Let me add dried fruits
and Turkish coffee.
That's actually kind of an easy one for me. For 1 week, and listen, I know it's not going to be I'm not going to feel great about doing it, but I can have pizza any time of the day, any day of the week, as many times as possible. I can eat pizza. Pizza
for a whole week, nothing but for a week?
Well, look at my other option. I can't eat vegetables for a week. I'm going to be hungry for the entire time. The other option is In-N-Out. Well, eating burgers and fries isn't exactly the lightest as well. And tamales are nice, but I have tamales a couple times a year. To have that for 1 full week, I think I go pizza on that list.
It's interesting. I thought for sure you were going to go veggies because I agree with you. You're never going to be like completely satisfied, but you can get quasi full and you're not going to feel lousy. If on day 3 of the pizza diet, you're going to want to, you're done.
Here's the game plan. I think you got to kind of have, you're basically, you're having like pizza twice a day, and you're not having your 3-4 slices in one sitting. You got to be strategic.
Yeah, but you could have 3 meals. Now they're veggie based, but you could eat. It just at the end of the meal, you're like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, but you're not like I'm gonna die. By the end of the 3rd day of pizza or burgers, you're like, yeah, this is the end of me. I'm out of here.
I don't think I could sleep eating just veggies and being that hungry.
All right, here's another one. Who is the most overrated Hollywood actor or actress? Hashtag Ask Slea. I'm curious what Emily's take on this might be.
Most overrated. I'm going to think of. I'll tell you who comes to play, and I don't even know if I believe this or not. Matt Damon is great. He doesn't always hit it for me. So I think there's a lot of times it's like, oh, no, if it's Matt Damon, it's Matt Damon, and the movie's going to be able to – he's good. He's very good. But I think I can go without seeing a Matt Damon movie, or when I see a Matt Damon movie, I don't know if he does it for me the way he does it for other people.
Do you have an answer to that?
I'm going to make Gen X very mad. Are you ready? Tom Cruise. The quickest way for me to not care about whatever movie you're talking about, say Tom Cruise is the lead of it, and I'm like, okay, I don't really care.
You don't like any of his movies?
What's
your favorite? What's your
like,
favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Rain Man. That's about it. And that's fine.
He's made like 50 or 60 movies.
I understand.
He only made one good one?
Maybe I just haven't seen the exact right one, but especially this era, the era that I've been alive for has been, for me, I could not care less about what Tom Cruise is doing. But I do know that's what everybody else.
Is it because you don't like him or you don't like the movies?
Is it his name?
It's not his name. It's just that I just don't like the energy that he gives off, and I don't care for the movies that he thinks are like high art. Okay.
Say it.
Also, J-Lo. I also think J-Lo's incredibly overrated as an actress.
Turn off her mic, Jorge.
Yeah.
I understand it's going to make everybody listening mad, but you asked my opinion.
Trav, who's yours? Who's yours, Trav?
J-Lo's not a good actress.
I'm about to go Job on Emily for her J-Lo.
She's a beautiful person. She is a bad actress.
It's a big screen. There's a lot going on up there. I'm just saying that Jorge, you and I will go watch the J-Lo. Wow. J-Lo and Tom Cruise should do a fighter pilot movie.
I need you guys
Vin Diesel for me. I'm
going to send this to you guys in the break.
That's a good one, actually.
It is the trailer for J-Lo's new, I don't know if it's a visual album, it's a movie. It is the most nonsensical trailer I've ever seen in my entire life. It makes no sense.
Bet I'll like it.
She is a beautiful woman.
All right, you got your phone calls coming up. And Darvin Ham said something after they beat the Celtics last night that I think he was meaning as a compliment, and I think he criticized himself. That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slea, 710 ESPN.
Okay, guys, if you
All declared that there will be an early spring this year. So does that mean he saw the shadow or did not see the shadow?
Don't ask me these questions.
I
just know that it's springs
It's
early and it
spring.
goes back to Gobbler's Knob.
Goes back to Cobbler's Knob. Did you like Groundhog Day, the movie?
I did like Groundhog Day.
great.
And I actually don't really tend to like
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray that much.
They're going to make one with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I will not watch.
Tom Cruise would bring the wrong
gonna
energy
be awesome.
to
It's gonna be
Groundhog Day,
amazing.
for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. I know what you're saying about that, and I'm not even really arguing with you about that his energy is very specific. It is a very, very specific flavor of ice cream. I just don't happen to mind it in certain roles.
And I think that he always keeps on saying that he wants to save movies, save all these things. But I think the movies that he likes and wants to produce are not the reason why I go to the movies.
No.
And I understand that's the reason why most people go to the movies is to see fun, action, things blow up, have that kind of heart-racing storyline. That's not the reason I go to the movies. I do like those movies on occasion, so I understand that I'm coming from kind of this pretentious background of this. So I understand why people like Tom
I go
Cruise.
to the movies for 3 hot dogs.
You're not
It is
the
a good
only
reason to go to the
That
movies.
You're
order.
not the only one.
That order.
Yeah. So what do you guys got going this weekend? Slea?
This weekend, actually,
You got a Laker game tomorrow.
I got a Laker game tomorrow. I think I mentioned to you as well. Doing a San Diego State, Utah State tomorrow. So that's a little bit earlier of a tip-off, 12:30. So going to catch that. Go visit some family. I got an uncle that isn't doing the best health-wise, so I want to make sure I get a chance to see him as well.
Well, we're thinking of him. Hopefully he's feeling better. And you got double basketball. That's
Double
That's a
basketball.
pretty good weekend. And then you know how do you spend your Sunday? If you got 2
Bro,
basketball, is that the uncle? Sunday is the uncle?
Yeah, Sunday's the uncle.
Okay.
But just to go off what you just said, I think everyone's a little lost this Sunday.
Look, honestly,
I'm lost as hell. I'm like, I don't. Do I watch last week's games?
I like to have something to look forward to, right? A little long weekend, a dinner that you're going out to, a ball game that you got tickets to, or like something to look forward to. So I'm trying not to look to a week from Monday when the whole thing is over. Football season is always the thing to look forward to. There's always a game either the next day, that day, or a couple of days away.
Okay,
You're
do you
never
do
far
this?
away from it.
Do you do this as playoffs, like when we're getting to, like, let's say week 16 and 17? And typically, I know sometimes it depends. Okay, are some teams out of it or some? I don't. But there's always going to be really good competitive games. I start like my depression starts right there. I'm like, no. Don't tell me we're this close to the regular season ending. Yeah, I want to watch the playoffs, but that's also 1 week closer to the freaking thing ending.
It's why it's the best, because it shows up, it's here, it goes by in the blink of an eye. The playoffs are quick as you know what, and we're done, and then we stare at each other until it starts again in August, and we get to do it. What about you, Em? How many movies are on the docket?
I have one movie that I'm seeing tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm seeing something. I'll tell you guys the break what I'm seeing and see if I can say it on air.
Oh.
It's kind of like
You're going
hell
to
are
one
you
of those
watching?
movies, are you?
What's going on over there?
Hey, look, no judgment. I mean,
I'm
do
not.
you, man?
It's just the title is something that. Anyway, I'll
When
tell
in
you guys
doubt,
the
leave it
break.
out. Yeah.
I'll tell you guys the break. But I'm also gonna go to El Cholo with my friend. And
Down here?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's one walking distance to my house.
Okay.
It's the other one, the original one.
Okay.
It's really close to my house, and it's gonna be me and my 2 girlfriends, and we're just gonna gossip and drink margaritas. And so I'm really looking forward to gossip, margaritas, and chips, and a little bit of Mexican food.
You
And
should
that's the best
IG
thing.
live for the whole thing.
Yeah, of course.
The
I mean-
gossip, the drinking, the whole thing. Get it in there.
Yeah, it sounds like really good for that.
Jorge?
We're basically just getting ready. We're in the final stretch.
Yeah.
We're getting ready, so I'm building stuff this weekend. Basically, the bassinet I got to build.
When you guys go to like your friends or family, do you throw the bag in the car? Are you that close?
The bag is ready.
Yeah,
it's ready to go. Brendan and Maite put it together 3 days ago.
Okay.
It's just a waiting game for us. And maybe go to my mom. I think Maite is getting picked up tonight. That way we can get a lot of this stuff done. Because when she's around, it's like, hey, it's just a little different where the kids
you
are.
got a 5-year-old and you're trying to build a crib.
Exactly. So my mom's, I think, picking her up today, if not tomorrow. But just building stuff and getting ready. We're on that.
Jorge, one quick
28 days
follow-up
away.
question. When somebody says I'm building stuff, I don't know if you know what goes on in my mind because I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, building
What
a crib.
exactly are you building?
Building a crib, a bassinet, putting a little swing together, a little bouncer, whatever. Like, we're getting gifts. We got gifts from the baby showers and stuff. So it's just I'm building a lot of these things. You got to assemble them.
Comes with instructions.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Are you
he's
doing
not,
like IKEA?
Yeah.
No. It's just different gifts that we got.
Trav, when I hear building stuff, in my head I'm like I
table
don't know
saw, wood
the
lathe,
guy just put together a deck. He's got a deck in his backyard and he's building a second story upstairs.
Jorge, measure twice, cut once.
Exactly.
That's all I can
Is
tell you.
it leftover things from Maite, or did you get new things?
We have a ton of new stuff. Well, I mean, we're having a boy now, so a lot of the stuff we have from Maite, we had to donate some stuff, give away some stuff. But now it's a bunch of new stuff that I have to put together because it's a boy. And it's,
some race cars, a baseball mitt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got something like that's kind of a Mustang kind of looking thing. So
Tom
it's cool.
Cruise movies.
Of course, yeah.
All right, so Greg brought in tamales this morning, and William in Moreno Valley wants to weigh in on what's going on. What's up, William?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to say, I'm just here to make sure that Trav honors his tamale run. I'm just looking out for the rest of the team. I can't leave him without tamales.
What do you mean, my tamale run?
Yeah, because I thought you were the guy that had to go get the tamales. Did you get the little baby?
It was Greg.
Oh, that was Greg.
Greg had to do it.
Oh, okay. I misheard then. Well, Greg, I guess Greg's got to go for that tamale run.
He
quick.
did it.
Bert came through. I think he got, what'd you guys say, 3 dozen?
Three
so
dozen.
he probably got
Yeah.
36 tamales,
Beef, chicken, and
William.
cheese.
So he came through.
But William, you were saying
Nice.
You talked to me on the line, and you were saying
Oh,
if you don't
yeah.
do the tamales, what's the punishment of not doing
Right.
tamales?
Oh.
Oh man, you would get roasted from the family. You just
Yep.
man, my grandma would be like the main one,
Yeah.
just poking like you didn't bring the tamales. You wouldn't hear the end of it.
The Catholic Church locks its doors on you. It's like, nah, you can't come in, man.
Well, that's the best part. Like, grandmas have, like, a free pass to just hammer away, and no one can stop them.
That's right.
They can be mean. They can carry a grudge.
whatever the hell they
can
want.
just
She's
hammer
authority.
away.
That's what it is.
That's
She's
right.
got final word, final say. That's what grandma
If
does.
she says it, it's true.
My
even if
grandma
it's
used to
not.
always boo my sister Claire whenever she was playing a sport, so she'd be like, "Boo, Claire!" And so now we always tease Claire about it.
My grandmother, when and we were always been fairly close to each other, like geographically. I hadn't been around, but there would be, sometimes you'd go 5 or 6 months where I wouldn't see her, and I'd go and she'd go, "Ooh, you put on some weight."
Grandmas and moms have the ability to do that.
they don't have. There's no filter there.
Thanks, William.
Okay, Trav, you asked all us, man. What do you got going on this weekend?
Don't worry about me.
Okay.
Because
baseball, kids, family.
No. Okay, because Trav, this is critical here. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times that when we go around the room, and you're like, "Does anybody want to know what I'm doing this weekend?" So if I'm throwing that out there, and you throw, "Don't worry about me," then I'm assuming that I don't ask the question anymore.
Here's the thing. Now, I
Okay.
appreciate you asking, Al. I do. Baseball rained out. There's an opportunity that I'm going to take advantage of tomorrow to go out to the desert and spend some time with a college buddy. And we're going to go play a little golf. And my dry January may come to a very, very exciting conclusion on Saturday. I'm just saying that I know that I did have a martini and stuff when we were in Vegas and stuff, but this is going to be – I'm showing up. Okay, I am showing up, and we're going to have a good time on
You're in
Saturday.
February, bro. You're good.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Okay, if you keep doing what you're doing and you give yourself, one weekend, or maybe it's not one weekend, like one event a month,
That's not a bad idea.
You're on track. Now the problem is you're gonna get through your one event a month by February 3rd. So I don't know what happens
I bought
the
my
rest of the
weekends
month.
in advance until into August. Yeah, no, but it should be good. I love to play
fun.
golf. I love my buddy Rye, so we're going to go out there and play a few holes and laugh. And not unlike what Emily's doing, just instead of having margaritas, we're going to have cold beer, and we'll tell old stories and laugh and have a good time. So I'm very
So
much
it's a
looking
good
forward.
goss session, but in terms of boys, that's what boys do.
Yeah. And girls like to gossip if that's what you guys. We like to say we do the whole. Hey, remember that time that's.
Or
the
you like to
equivalent
say,
of it.
hey, remember those random guys that played in NFL in 2006? Just name NFL athletes.
Yes, exactly right. Hey, have you ever looked at Baseball Reference? Did you know Ted Simmons played 21 seasons? Did you know that he was a lifetime 285 hitter? Did you know that he led the league in grounding into double plays one season? Like, yeah, it wouldn't be interesting to anybody but the two of us, but it'll be a good
Are
time.
you going to bring baseball cards?
If I had them, I would.
I know.
I they're so expensive now. That's the problem. Like it used to be, and look, I'm going to sound like an old man here. You used to be able to ride your bike down to the liquor store with a couple of bucks in your pocket and get, 4 packs of cards. It was fun. It's like $5 for a pack of cards and 3 cards come in the pack. It's insane. It's just it's not fun. It used to be fun.
Gas used to be $1.35.
Say that again, Slea?
And gas used to be $1.35.
I know, right? I used to be able to fill
I
up
used
my
to
whole
walk to
tank.
school every day, and I walked for miles and miles, right?
We
Travis?
never
I
locked
rode
the
my
front
bike.
door.
We didn't. We didn't back then.
89 cents for
Going
premium.
to see the Dodgers was a quarter.
No, but you know what it was? Honestly, you know what you could get a Dodgers ticket for when I was in high school?
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
How much was a hot dog? Like $2?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So those malts.
If
I
you
remember
walk-
the malts were $2.50 with that terrible.
You go to
wooden spoon.
Dodger Stadium this year, and you're holding a $5 bill, they will kick you out. They'll say, this literally does nothing here. Get out of here.
They'll spit on the ground in front of you.
Apple Pay.
Jim Harbaugh had his Welcome to LA press conference yesterday, and I'm not going to lie, Slea, it was awesome. That's next. It's Trav and Slea, 710 ESPN.
Accident.
dropped off food at your house twice in one day? I don't
Great
know.
question.
Travis and Sliwa.
On 710 ESPN.
So, Slea, have you ever kind of decided on where your NFL loyalties are going to lie? Because you're a lifelong Charger fan, and then they left to go to L.A., and you were bothered, as I think the vast majority of Charger fans were. It's like, forget you guys. I'm out. Did you ever land anywhere else? Because, and the reason I ask is, when the Rams left Los Angeles in 1994, I didn't follow them to St. Louis. Like, why do I care about a football team from St. Louis? Whatever. But when they came back, it was easy to jump right back on. But in between there, it's like a little flirtation with this team, that team. When I lived in Houston for a couple of years, I jumped on the Texans just because they were in town and they were actually halfway decent. Have you ever found that other team?
No, and I don't think that's going to change either. I don't think I have any loyalty towards the NFL. I don't think I have. I don't think any team is going to attract me. Let me just use LA as an example. And I know my fandom's a little interesting because I'm from San Diego and all my allegiances are towards San Diego. Yet I grew up a Laker fan. That's a little odd, but you'd be surprised there's actually a lot of Laker fans in San Diego. The Charger thing is there's such a scar there that I'm good. I'm just going to stay off the mix in this X amount of years. I tried for a little bit. I'm like, maybe I'll go Raiders. It's not in me. It's not. Like, I'll tell you who I'm going to root for every week. Whoever Harbaugh and the Chargers are playing against, that's who I'm going to root for. But that's not a commitment anywhere. That's just me hating on the Chargers.
So the reason I ask is the Chargers are about to get good, buddy. And I agree. And it's about to happen. And I'm curious how your relationship with them is going to change, if it's going to change at all. Because here's what Jim Harbaugh said yesterday during his press. And one of many things that I want to play, but I want to start with this one.
We're in one of the great cities there is. One thing I know is Los Angeles, Southern California, they respect talent, effort, and winning. And it needs to be multiple championships. We're going to be humble and hungry, but that's our goal.
Look, if this were coming out of the mouth of almost anybody else, and they said, look, my goal is to win multiple championships here, it would have been, dude, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, good luck with that, dude. You know you work for the Chargers, right, dude? You know that this is the biggest clown show in the NFL, right, dude? When he said it, Slea, I went, he might be right, because he knows what he's doing. Everywhere he's gone, USD, win. Stanford never wins. Stanford, win. Yeah. 49ers takes them from a bad team to a really good team like that. He goes to Michigan. In the 9 years there, he goes to the college football playoff 3 times, wins a national championship. He knows what he's doing. So when he says, hey, listen, the goal here is to be tough, physical, we're going to compete, we're going to do this, and we're going to win championships and multiple championships, it isn't an eye roll. It's you better get ready because the Chargers are about to become a pretty darn good football team.
Okay, but it's still ridiculous to say multiple championships.
Why?
I think if he just says the goal, of course, is to win a Super Bowl. That's our goal. Our number one objective is to win a Super Bowl. Multiple championships, it's as if you've already won one, or it's as we've got one under our belt. Let's use as an example. Just because he doesn't have one, that's my only reference to it. I think if you're a Charger fan, whether you were a Charger fan in San Diego or you're a Charger fan in Los Angeles, it's not like it's a franchise that if you won a Super Bowl, I mean, I can't even say beyond mission accomplished. If the Clippers won an NBA championship, it's beyond mission accomplished. Now, that doesn't mean your goal isn't to go out there and win multiple championships. It's get the first one. Once you get the first one, then you could kind of start thinking about multiple from there.
I loved it for one simple reason. He's attempting to do the thing that I think is the hardest thing to do in sports, and that is change culture and change a losing culture into a winning culture. And what he's saying, and he's one of the few guys that could say it because he has a resume to back it up. Guys, I know the destination, and I know how to get there. Line up behind me, and I will take you there. It's not ridiculous for him. Let's use the Rams as an example because I think it's the perfect example, and especially here in Los Angeles. The 20-ish years that they spent in St. Louis, other than that brief period where the Greatest Show on Turf was cranked up, they were what? They were kind of boring. They were kind of anonymous. They were certainly not thought of as a winning organization. And all of a sudden, they come to L.A., and it shows up, and it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, nobody really knew what it was. Jeff Fisher was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Nice guy, but you're not winning a bunch of games. And then this guy shows up that's got this energy that's just crackling off him, and he wins. And he wins big, and he wins right away. And all of a sudden, the Rams have an identity. The Rams have a culture. The Rams have a style. The Rams have a brand that is very recognizable throughout the NFL. And the Rams are one of those places that is a destination in this league now. And they did it because they hired the right coach. Jim Harbaugh is he a likable guy? Not really. Is he somebody that you'd want to be best friends with? Probably not. Does he know what he's doing? Hell yes. And that's why I like him coming in. Guys, I'm not just here this is my next job. I'm here to fix this, and I know how to do it. And we're not just going to win. We're going to win multiple. The goal is not just to be not the Chargers. The goal is to be champions over and over and over again. I love the attempt to rewrite their culture, rewrite their future, and not trying to tiptoe into it, but doing a cannonball into the deep end. I love it.
I could be it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter if you properly explain this. Whether you were paying attention to the Chargers before or not, the hiring clearly gets your attention on the Chargers. Now, in LA, maybe there isn't this sweep of all these people that become Charger fans. You and I were talking a little bit about this. They have become a story. If I go on the NFL Network, there's probably a good chance that somebody's going to be talking about the Chargers at some point, because now they're a franchise that you can talk about them. You have a reason to talk about them. You have a coach that you feel like can kind of change. It's not like the Chargers have had no success. It's just that they haven't had sustained success. There's been a lot of disappointments with the franchise.
I agree with you all, but what is the Charger identity is what? Like if you asked 100 people, the vast majority of them would say, hey, what do you think of when you think of the Chargers? What would the answer be?
A losing identity.
Right.
Falling on your face.
Falling on their face. It's a verb. They Charger things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their brand is, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong over there.
Right.
Which is
why I think the signing does make you turn your head and look at them differently today. Now, you got to go out there and go make it happen. I think one question mark, let's just say this. How shocked or surprised would you be if 5 years go by for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, maybe the ownership doesn't completely live up to their word, that maybe they don't go spend the way Harbaugh wants them to spend. Maybe they don't make decisions. Would you be shocked if 5 years goes by and the Chargers don't win a Super Bowl? You shouldn't be. I mean, nobody should. Winning a Super Bowl is incredibly challenging, but you wouldn't be shocked because it's the Chargers as well. I think there's a little bit of that. I wouldn't be shocked if
they didn't win the Super Bowl, but what I would be shocked at is if they are where they are right now. If they are still a clown show. If they are still the place that you look at and go, those guys are morons. They can't get out of their own way. I would be shocked at that because to your point, you have to be a little bit lucky to win a Super Bowl.
It's not easy to win a Super Bowl.
No, it's super hard. So
Harbaugh hasn't yet. So.
He hasn't, but he got really close a bunch of times. And I think that's what you're hoping he does. And then when you need that one thing to break your way, it does. What would be shocking to me is if we're in exactly the same place. That if they go next year, I think they're going to be really good. Yeah. I think they're going to be really good right out of the gate. And his presence alone will do that. And then give him a chance to build a little culture beyond just 1 year. This could be a real thing.
Can I ask you this? Do you agree or disagree that he can be successful as a Chargers head coach even if they didn't win a Super Bowl?
Of course, yes.
I'm not telling you that that's not the goal. And that's why I was saying the multiple thing that we're talking about. It's like, okay, well, get the franchise. They've never had one. But I see what he's trying to – I see the
it's their
kind
goal.
of –
it's their goal is to win multiple championships. That should be everybody's goal.
To say that we're going to be better is not inspiring. To show up and say, this is what I expect, and then you shoot for it, you might come close, and that would be amazing.
And the way you've described it, Harbaugh, has he been a successful NFL coach, yes or no?
Yes.
Has he won a Super Bowl?
No.
And my point, the only point I'm trying to make is that you can still be he can have a 5-year successful run in Los Angeles for the Chargers, and what can also happen is just maybe a ball is tipped the other way, a fumble happens.
Yeah.
Like, this is the NFL.
So my question to you all, in the next 5 years, so the Chiefs have won the AFC West, 6 years in a row, 7 years in a row? since Patrick
6 at
Mahomes has
least,
been there.
yeah.
So do you think in the next 5 years the Chargers will win the AFC West?
Yes, I do.
Do you think it could be next year?
It could be. Sure, it could. Sure, it could.
Can I? And here's why. Also, I think that's very realistic. I think that it's going to be a goal for the Chargers, I'm sure, to win the division. That's going to be the most important thing for them. I don't know, especially watching Mahomes right now. Do you think, Trav, by the time the dust settles and next year starts, do you think anybody in Kansas City, not that their goal is not to win the division and have home field, but do they also know that, hey, if we got to go play a road game in Los Angeles against the Chargers, yeah, we're fine. Where I think certain franchises, especially when you're starting to win or starting to build something, home field can mean a lot.
I also think that, this is like if Tom Brady, after his first 3 years in his career in the NFL, they got the best coach to come into the AFC East. So I don't know who was the best coach. Maybe in 2004. Even Andy Reid, maybe. Andy Reid went and coached the Jets and had a good quarterback. That's what this would be like. This is like going toe-to-toe with Mahomes twice a year and trying to take down him in his own division because it'll be a challenge for Mahomes because Brady didn't have any challenges for his entire career.
And his best players getting a little older, like in Kelsey. They've got that really good defense. But the point isn't even do they win the division, not win. They're different. The moment he walked up to the dais there yesterday, it is a different energy in the room because it's not, hey, I wonder if this guy knows what he's doing. It's not hey, I wonder if his methods work. There's no ambiguity. It's Jim Harbaugh. It works. And to your point, Slea, it's not Bill Belichick who has 6 or 7 Super Bowl, I think it's 6, and walking up there with a fistful of rings and saying, look, because, yeah, whatever. This is a guy that has done it over and over and over again. There is no, well, maybe, maybe not. Anthony Lynn was a maybe, maybe not. Brandon Staley was a maybe, maybe not. This is, if it doesn't work.
McVay was a maybe, maybe not.
Of course he was. Of course he was.
Yeah.
But this is as close to a sure thing as you can get. And the Chargers, they win the division. Can they? Of course they can. But they need to discard, shed, just, throw away this reputation of being bozos. And the quickest way you can do that.
Dean, listen to me. I believe in you continuing to be a bozo. I really do.
Jim Harbaugh doesn't. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh thinks he can de-bozify the San Diego Chargers. So we'll see. We will see. Factor Cap's coming up next. It's Trav and Slea, 710 ESPN.
Coming up today at 1.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Hey, John Ireland here, and I'm at my local Ralph's in front of the BBGO display, and here's why. The Lakers and Ralph's are doing a sweepstakes, and you could win courtside seats to a Laker game. The question I get more than anything else is, how do I get in those courtside seats? This is how. You come to a local Ralph's, you spend at least $10 on BBGO. Then you take your receipt and you send it to this web address, Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. That's Lakers.com/BBGO BBGoSweeps. It's the contest runs from now through February 6th. So all you gotta do is go to Ralph's, get some BBGO, and send in that receipt. Well, as long as I'm here. You can never have enough BBGO.
BBGO, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
No, it is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys, I also did forget that I'm going to see UNC Duke play tomorrow at a bar, so I'm excited for that. It'll be fun.
Did I dazzle you with my college basketball knowledge when you told me that?
Yeah, you dazzled.
Gauchos lost to UC Davis last night, in case you were curious.
So they're bad.
I did know that. They were like 500.
All right.
They're like the Lakers.
Yeah, you like the Lakers.
Sorry, that was a
so
bad
I'm gonna play some sound from Jim Harbaugh's press conference in this segment, but I'm gonna start first with something that happened in college basketball. Funny, yesterday, and I'm gonna play the sound. It's Bill Walton talking about a thing that passed him by.
I auditioned for Chewy Blanca, and they said no, but we're gonna model the character after you.
You were in Ghostbusters, and people didn't know that. So again, I think there's a great chance that this is a true story. They're going to look at
All right, and then he kind of goes on with whatever they were going to call the rest of the game. So it would be so Bill Hader loves that he was like tried to be featured in one of the newer versions. Like all these people want to be in Star Wars because they've been Star Wars fans for so long, and people were like, I'll even just be in the robot costume. I don't really have to be myself in this movie. So it would be an honor to be included in Star Wars, even if it means that you're in a robot costume, if you're like in a Chewbacca outfit. Travis, Factor Cap.
Fact. I think that, I am a Star Wars fan, so that would be incredibly cool to be able to be in those movies or in that the universe, right? A part of the Star Wars universe, even if you had a stormtrooper outfit and no one even knows you're in there. But if you were like one of those super crazy Star Wars nerd people, it would be, because for me, like the thing that I always thought that would be like just the coolest thing in the world would get to be on The Simpsons, like where they animate you in that Simpsons style, where you get to voice the character. No, I'm saying on the show, right? And to get an opportunity to the thing that you like the most, where they say, hey, come be a part of our thing, amazing.
Al?
Fact, and that's me not being a Star Wars guy. I understand the importance of it culturally. I understand how big it was in the past and still is today, but even without me having that close connection to it, I think anybody that gets that type of role in that type of a series, something that's important culturally, fact for me.
Berg?
So it's 100% fact. And I think it was Daniel Craig who was in The Rise of Skywalker as a stormtrooper. And
really?
You never knew it was him.
That's awesome.
I think it was Daniel Craig. You can correct me on that.
I also think that Bill Hader was the voice of BB-8, I think, maybe in the first
he was.
of the new movies.
Yeah, he just makes the noises. So, yeah, it would be...
He's good at making noises.
Yeah, it would be incredibly cool to be in the Star Wars franchise. And by the way, O'Shea Jackson Jr. is coming in today with Mason Ireland. He is in the Star Wars universe. He is a character in Star Wars. So that's very, very cool.
That is.
So, yeah, 100%
O'Shea
fact.
also helped me with trivia this week. And because they were like, name this, actor and like their famous parent. And I was like, I know that one. Because the parent was like covered in a question mark and it's just a picture. I was like, I know that one.
That's
all right.
cool.
Jorge?
Fact, because Star Wars is, like Travis or Sliwa said, it's generations of fans. And there's a new generation coming up. There's a new saga, I guess we can call it, that's building up. And just being part of it, and they're going to tie you to how it started. Why not? It's that big, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Would be one of the cool series to be in for sure. All right, so I'm going to play this sound, too. It's from Jim Harbaugh's press conference, and he is talking about where he's going to live until they find a place to live at.
I told my wife this. Should I tell him? Yes. Yes. Okay, so I want to drive my RV out. I want to drive my RV out and go to a trailer park, like down by the water or by Disneyland. There'll be 2 that I've researched that are close to months until we move to the new facility. I have that thought going through my head.
There are some very expensive trailer parks. Like there's this one very famous one in Malibu where like millionaires and bajillionaires live.
Yes. Wow.
So there's definitely, he's not going to be with, in the trailer parks we're probably thinking about.
Well, but by the way, Travis is the only one laughing at Jim Rockford.
We'll get to me. We'll get to it. I got it. I got you covered. Don't worry.
I was totally lost on it. Right over my head.
I got you. It's wonderful.
My statement is, you could do RV life for a year, where you live out of your RV and you travel the country. You could live in an RV for a year. Berg, Factor Cap.
So, fact, this is actually something that I really want to do, and it's probably a dream of mine, is to just travel the country in an RV, just driving around. I'm all for this. I would love, love, love to do this.
Al?
Fact, this is going to be my next rabbit hole. I'm already thinking about it right now. I've definitely watched some of those people that live, they like trick out their vans, this, whatever it is, trailer, whatever you want to call it, and they're going from place to place. Fact, when Harbaugh said, the way he described it, I'm with you, Em. I didn't know that there's these high-end trailer. I have no idea. But the way he described it, I just see him like, oh, there's no running water. Like, I just saw him. That's all I was thinking in my head is this guy actually living in a trailer park.
Yeah, that movie RV with Robin Williams. I used to love that movie as a kid as well. Trav, what do you think?
It's not for me. Like an RV, like for a long weekend, sure, whatever. But a year, hell no. My sister and brother-in-law have this trailer and it's a really nice one that it's tricked out. It's got all the stuff and all this, and they go camping and they love it.
That's awesome.
And I look at it, it looks like a jail cell to me. It's like I can't imagine being trapped in there for more than 4 seconds before I'd want to climb out and run for the hills. I can't do it. Back to Jim Rockford
listen,
for a second.
The Comrexes, we're both going to have Comrexes. We can connect, and wherever we go, we could do our show.
So,
just need Wi-Fi.
The Jim Rockford of it all.
Yeah, is that Rockford Files?
Yes, I'm not a Jim Harbaugh. I am somebody that holds Jim Harbaugh with a certain level of respect for what he does in his occupation. I respect his acumen as a coach. Don't really like Jim Harbaugh because he just seems like a guy that I wouldn't jive. Might have to reconsider because anybody that's dropping 70s PI network TV references 50 years after they happen is a man after my own heart.
So did
Jim Garner was Jim Rockford in the Rockford Files, and he drove around in a sweet, I think it was like a copper-colored Camaro, solving crimes and living in his RV, and it was awesome. So I am here for I am Jim Harbaugh. I am officially on your side right here. I am Team Harbaugh as of the Rockford Files joke.
So should I go into Nick at Night and go watch some Rockford Files?
You know who I guarantee you likes the Rockford Files?
Chris?
Yes.
100%.
Cap for me. I did it. We went camping to the desert once, and then we took dirt bikes and whatever, and it was uncomfortable, man. I like to shower at night or in the morning, especially when you're in the desert riding motorcycles.
Sure.
Like you're
There's showers in there?
No, man. Like the
Not
one
a
we
real
took,
one.
the one we took, we didn't have a. We were in the middle of the desert in an RV.
Yeah.
Just
well, if you
riding
got to get the RV that has a shower in it.
Nah.
You want a rolling Ritz-Carlton is what you want.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
He wants Illy coffee only served in there.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Fun fact about RVs in my own life. We used to have neighbors that used to they take us on RV camping trips and stuff. It was very sweet and fun. I remember very clearly where I watched Appalachian State run back against Michigan was in an RV of our neighbors, and I was like, "That is so cool." That's me as a little 10-year-old.
So would you go around the country in an RV?
I think I could do it for a year. I think I could do it for a year if I had no work and I was on getting paid or sabbatical or whatever. I would do that.
I'd go see the largest mitten, off the side of the road.
I have seen these big roadside attractions because I did drive out here.
I don't get it.
It's not that cool.
I love that stuff.
I really I'm not saying this with the judgment at all. I'm saying this as just simply a question. I don't get the appeal of not having a base, like of just constantly
You have a
moving
base.
around.
It's the car.
Yeah, I don't like being in the car for the hour it takes me to drive to work. It
Yeah,
sounds
because you're
awful.
coming to work. You're not like just driving around the
where,
country.
But where am I driving to? The biggest ball of yarn
Yes,
in Kansas?
yes.
Or you're driving to national parks. The national parks are really
That would be the way to do it. It's got to be
That's-
like the national parks, and your view is literally it's a river, it's an ocean, it's got to be something like that.
Okay,
Not the
that's
5
a little
freeway.
better. So I
Not
will
the 5
fly to
freeway.
where the park is, and then drive to it, and then go beautiful river, and then drive back to the airport and fly home.
See, I want
I'm
to go
with you,
to
man.
like Colorado,
totally
go to
with
the
you.
Grand Canyon or Arizona.
I've seen
go
the
to
Grand Canyon. It's
I know,
great.
but
I don't
wanna
need to
go
drive to
into
it
the
in a
Grand
giant
Canyon.
trash can. It sounds awful.
I want to stop somewhere, leave my RV, go to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, hike through there. What's that?
Well,
Slea, I
hey,
think
we
you've been
got
there.
we got optimism, Trav. It went 30 days, and we're back. We're back, bro.
I got one more for you guys. It's also from Jim Harbaugh's press conference, and this is him and his interaction with Jim Hill. So I'm going to have my statement on the other side.
Coach, this is I'm Jim Hill of KCAL 9 News. Congratulations.
You're a legend. Of
No,
course I know
you're
Jim
the
Hill.
legend.
You're a legend.
No,
You
you're the
are
legend.
a legend.
Believe me, you're the legend.
All right.
That's great.
No, you.
This is sound taken from two best first grade friends deciding that they're going to be best friends. All right, Al, Factor Cap.
That couldn't be more fact. The way they both were interacting, and it is funny because, Trav, you've told me, you said you've only taken a couple pictures with a few people, right? And it's Jim Hill. I think
He's
I've
on
told
the
this
list.
story before. I want to say I told this on the air before. So the Lakers in the past have done this thing called, it's like the genius guest, or I forget what it's called, but they have certain people that come into the facility that talk to the players and everything else. One time I was going to the Lakers training facility, and Jim Hill had just parked and kind of waved at each other, so I was waiting for him. I was walking, and there's an SUV between me and Jim Hill. It's Dave Chappelle in there, and it's Chappelle flagging down Jim Hill to say hello.
That's great.
That's amazing.
So it's Jim Hill. This is who he is, and but to go back to yours, they did just become best friends.
Trev?
So only one of them is right. Harbaugh's right. Jim Hill is a legend. Jim Harbaugh's a good coach, right?
He's a legend in Michigan.
In Michigan, yes, but this took place here, right? That if this was taking place in Ann Arbor, tables would be turned. But no, Jim Hill is an icon of this city. And like I said, when I got to sit next to him in the press box for a couple seasons when it was at the Coliseum, and then when he and I were sitting next to each other in the press box at SoFi during the Super Bowl, it was one of those moments where the universe said, hey, you're having a cool moment. Appreciate this and tell the guy that's giving you the cool moment that he's giving you the cool moment. And I said to him, I said, Jim, if you would have told me when I was 14 that I would be sitting next to you watching the Super Bowl in our hometown, I would have never believed it. It would be the wildest dream come true. And I said, I got to take a picture of us sitting here. And he's like, yep, let's go. And that's what makes Jim Hill a legend.
Berg?
So, yes, it's fact. And you guys are all right that he is a legend. He's also probably the nicest human being of all time. So I was at a Laker game with some of the people in the back, some of the MCs and salespeople. We were walking around the bottom of the court, and we stopped right before that entrance to go to the media room.
Yep.
And I stopped, and I turned my back because people were walking by, and I was just standing there talking to people for a while. And I turned around, and right behind me was Jim Hill. I was standing right in front of Jim Hill and said nothing. I was like, oh, wow, Jim, I had no idea you were there. Yeah. And he was just so nice and cool about everything. And we had conversations about how much he loves Mason and Ireland. It was all just, and he talked for a little while with me. Like, it was just a normal conversation, very nice, very, like, put his hands on your shoulder and say, like, yeah, like, he just was a really good dude, and it was really nice to see that.
I think I know what you're saying, Berg. What you're saying is me, you, and Jim are going for 1 year in an RV.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. Will you do it? Come on, Slea.
Let's do it. We're in.
Jim Hill's on the list, last thing here, and I can think of 2 or 3 people, tops, that I've never heard anybody say one bad thing about ever.
Yeah.
There are not many of those people.
No, there's not. No, he's one of them.
He is one of the very few. I'll put Chris McGee on that list, too. That might be the whole list.
Man, I hate Peter.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That might be the
love
entire list. Those are the 2 guys. Darvin Ham said some interesting things after. Yeah, this is accurate. The Lakers beat the Celtics last night without their 2 best players. That's next. It's Trav and Slea, 710 ESPN. And your handy neighbors at Next Gen Air and Plumbing, They're back with 2 new ways to make your home comfort and safety easy and affordable. They've launched the Next Gen Rebate Hotline to help you pay as little as possible on new furnace and AC systems, water heaters, and more. Their rebate experts are standing by to help you find every local, state, and federal rebate possible so you save every penny that you can. Call the Next Gen Rebate Hotline right now at 833-3-NEXTGEN. Plus, for a limited time, they're also offering no payments for 90 days on approved credit. That's no payments for 90 days, 3 months on air conditioning and furnace systems, water heaters, whole home water filtration systems, and indoor air quality systems. So ask how you can qualify for 0 payments for 90 days when you call the Next Gen Rebate Hotline at 833-3-NEXTGEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN.
Said Sliwa. But do you think it's the right move? Do you think it's the right strategy?
No. Live from LA Live on 710 ESPN.
So, Em, I'm thinking maybe a double feature of Mission Impossible and Top Gun for you this weekend.
100%.
Yep, I'm going to go see it at the Vista Theater and just embrace a double feature of it.
There you go.
If people have movies that they think I'd actually like from Tom Cruise, I'd be willing to watch if you think that I'd like it. I just don't think I will.
What's the one where he's a NASCAR driver?
Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't think she'd like that.
I don't dislike.
Will she like A Few Good Men?
Oh, that's an
I
interesting
probably
one.
would like A Few Good
Yeah,
Men.
that's a good one now.
Yeah.
Another one, old school. Remember The Firm?
That's got very specific Tom Cruise energy. I think that would not work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Okay. Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire.
I could watch Jerry Maguire. I would watch that.
Have you seen it?
I haven't yet.
I kind of want you to watch it because I don't think you would like it.
Here's my assignment. I will watch.
He's Tom Cruise in that movie.
I will watch 2 Tom Cruise movies before Monday's show. So think very closely what Tom Cruise movies you want me to watch.
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men.
Yes, I
Yep.
think.
And Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have Jerry Maguire. They're the 2 classics right there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
All right, I'll do it for you guys.
But I don't want to spoil
How
it.
about Risky Business? Is that?
That's super
seen
young
it.
Tom Cruise. That's like he's 19 or 20 years old in that movie.
By the way, how
Yeah.
casual did she just throw in, I'm going to watch 2 of them for you, and I'm going to do it by Monday? Like, that's her level of commitment to these movies is incredible.
Speaking of, I know that you had did you make the trip down to San Diego last night?
Yes.
Okay, so no episode of The Americans for you, still in 2?
I'm actually 3 in now.
Oh, you watched another one.
I'm 3 in now.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's got you a little bit.
Yeah. Listen, I think I mentioned it yesterday. I'm interested enough. The plot is good enough. I like the concept of it, so I'm in. If I could get, I think anybody who's trying to get into a show, if you're starting to look forward to, okay, you got me kind of, what's the next one going to look like? And I can't tell you that a lot of them have done that. I mean, if I'm making comparisons to like Breaking Bad and something, okay, yeah,
No,
those were easy hooks.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm 3 in.
I tried to sit down with another Righteous Gemstones last night, Em, and I'm like, it felt like such a task to sit there for 45 minutes. I'm like, I can't.
I think it's shorter than 45 minutes.
Yeah, maybe whatever it was. Yeah. I'm like, no, I can't. And it's just something I like. That's the thing that's so weird. Like, even if I like it, it's just I got to sit here for half an hour, 35 minutes. I don't have that in me.
I want you to watch Murder, She Wrote tonight.
Elvis's mom is the star in that. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Angela Lansbury played Elvis's mother in Blue Hawaii, and she's 7 years older than Elvis.
That's fantastic. I watched another episode of Traders out there. Any Traders Hive out there? Yeah, it's great. It was a great episode. It was a great episode.
Travis and I will also watch 2 episodes this weekend
of Traders.
I
for you.
would move my entire family into an RV before I'll watch 8 seconds of that. Yeah,
we now know
happening.
how to get Travis an RV for a year.
Well, no,
it's an epic circle of truth.
It's just one of those things. Like I'm glad you like it, Em. Knock yourself out, but it's just one of those. I can't even like entertain. Well, maybe I'm out.
I just like how you guys are planning to watch all these movies, but no offer to help to build a crib or anything like that. Thank you, guys.
You got to make sure the IKEA directions, right? My favorite part is you got to hold 6 parts at the same time and turn the screwdriver.
Exactly.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Or the only thing you would want me for is just bring some lunch over or
I'm
something.
joking.
I'm not going to be able to help with anything.
No. Let me make myself very clear. I am not offering to help you.
No,
because I've already done that, and it's awful. Awful, awful, awful. If you have young kids in the car, turn off the radio for 10 seconds and then come back. 3, 2, 1. All right. Nothing's worse than Christmas Eve. Nothing.
All right, you guys continue right back on.
Absolutely nothing. It's like, wait, how many of these things do I have to put together? Miserable.
Okay, so my mom just texted me.
I would
she
just
says,
lay out the whole crib on the floor with the directions, with all the instructions on the left.
My mom just texted me. She said, The Firm is good and Risky Business. I've seen Risky Business. I didn't like it.
I like The Firm, too.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that I don't like it. I liked Risky Business. I'm trying to put myself in your point of view, Em, on what, and don't get me wrong. I know exactly why you don't like Tom Cruise. I get it. And I think The Firm is a performance why you don't like him, if that makes any sense. That when he's radiating that very specific Tom Cruise energy, that's what The Firm is.
Who knows? Maybe on Monday I'll come back and I'll be a changed woman. I'll be
Maybe.
so into Tom Cruise. Maybe if I have extra time, I'll watch The Firm.
The Firm's Gene Hackman's in The Firm. He's great. Wilford Brimley, who's like 46 and looks like he's 106, is in that movie. It's there's a lot of good stuff going on right there. Darvin Ham's quotes about beating the Celtics, which I think he meant positively, that I did not take like that at all. That's next. Travis Slea, 710 ESPN. And if you call in right now at 877-710-3776, caller number 7 is going to win tickets to see NASCAR's Clash at the Coliseum. 877-710-ESPN. Caller number 7 wins tickets to see the Clash at the Coliseum.
Hey, John Ireland here, and I'm at my local Ralph's in front of the BB-Go display, and here's why. The Lakers and Ralph's are doing a sweepstakes, and you could win courtside seats to a Laker game. The question I get more than anything else is, how do I get in those courtside seats? This is how. You come to a local Ralph's, you spend at least $10 on BB-Go. Then you take your receipt and you send it to this web address, Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. That's Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. It's the contest runs from now through February 6th. So all you got to do is go to Ralph's, get some BB-Go, and send in that receipt. Well, as long as I'm here. You can never have enough BB-Go.
BB-Go, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa.
Day has the same person dropped off food at your house twice in one day? I don't
Great
know.
question.
Travis and Sliwa.
On 710 ESPN.
I made a tactical error. You ready, Slee? So I forgot that Susan was off today, which means that she might be listening, and apparently she is.
Oh, jeez.
Because she just texted me. She goes, "You don't even know what Christmas Eve is," and
Oh,
there was a lot of hostility in that text, like quite a bit of like, "You don't do, you know what," and so anyway, sorry.
I'm scared for you, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know if you still get
like,
this weekend's trip.
There was some punctuation in there that was just pretty aggressive. I just,
Careful out there, man.
You know how it goes. All right, so Darvin Ham. Lakers beat the Celtics last night, kind of out of nowhere. No LeBron, no AD. D'Lo was really good. Austin Reeves was really, really good. He made a bunch of threes. Lakers shot over 50% from behind the three-point line. Lakers
Jackson
actually,
Hayes, Rui Hachimura, like some of these other names that you don't really hear of too much.
Lakers shot a higher percentage from behind the three-point line than they did from inside of it. So it was one of those nights. The Celtics really couldn't make any baskets. And the Darvin Ham quotes that he put out there, you have those in front of you?
Yep, I got them. So this is what Darvin Ham said last night. So he says, I just think that they can't be paralyzed mentally in thinking they got to do things to get Bron and AD the ball, their touches, getting going. Those two guys are great. They're all-stars for a reason. They've been who they have been through the course of both of their careers for a reason. But there's also two guys who want people around them to play the right way and make the right play when it's right in front of them. To be in attack mode constantly and defensively to be where they're supposed to be. So just the idea of having to push and get these guys to be in the right position.
What do you make of that, Al?
A couple things come to mind. I mean, he's 100% right that ultimately the only way a championship team becomes a championship team, it wasn't just Kobe and Shaq. It was Robert Horry and what's Derek Fisher going to do and what's Rick Fox going to do, or Horace Grant or Ron Harper or Brian Shaw. Go a little bit more recent, the Lakers winning that championship in the bubble. It wasn't just about LeBron and Anthony Davis. It was Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Rondo, Danny Green, go down the list. But something I will say, and you mentioned this, and I don't think we mentioned it on air, but it's something you mentioned in the prep. That's what makes your head coach stand out from other head coaches, is that I can pull a guy to the side like D'Angelo Russell and say, listen, I already know what LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to do every single night. You're the most important player tonight, because if you don't go, then it doesn't matter what those two do, or Austin Reeves, or Rui, or Jackson Hayes, or go down the list of some of these role players. Of course, guys are going to be tentative when LeBron and Anthony Davis are out there, because two of the best players in the world are out there. They're going to eat first, and you're waiting to eat. Once they're full is, I guess what you could say is that's when you're going to come and grab a plate and say, okay, I'm going to get out there as well. But you don't win with just two guys. You don't win unless your role players are there. And I think some of his quote also reflects on his coaching, because that's on Darvin Ham to make sure that these role players are in a position where they are comfortable and they are producing, and they're not tentative because LeBron and AD are out there.
He's criticizing his own job. What he's saying is, I'm doing a bad job. I don't know if he realizes he's saying it or not, but that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you're not hearing Michael Malone say this about getting touches for everyone outside of Jokic and Murray.
They can't be paralyzed mentally and thinking they got to do things to get LeBron and AD their ball. Their touches to get them going. Those two guys are great. They're all-stars for a reason. They've been who they are throughout the course of their careers for a reason, but they're also two guys who want people around them to play the right way and make the right play when it's right there in front of them. That's your job, to make them understand that, to make them play like that, to free them up so they don't have to go out there and just exclusively serve your two best players. Obviously, that's job number one, but the second part of it is, do you, and make sure that you're not being at your best because you're trying to do this. This idea of, well, we got to find guys that can play really well with LeBron and AD. Right. That's your responsibility to make sure that those guys play well with LeBron and AD. D'Angelo was talking after the game, too.
Can I say this before you go to D'Lo? His quote that he has there, I think at the end, if it's added, and that's on me to figure it out.
Exactly.
Okay? So just to add, I think, some of that context. I know we want to throw it on Darvin, but I'm going to throw this a little bit on LeBron James as well. There are times where LeBron is in the game, and LeBron, you're holding the ball for 20 seconds of the clock. LeBron, you also have to be responsible for putting guys, maybe whether it's making them feel comfortable in the situation because you are LeBron James. Kobe used to have the same issue. Some of these great players, there would be issues with some of these greats about making sure that I can't hold the ball for 15 seconds of a shot clock and throw it to Austin Reeves with 6 seconds left and say, go make it happen. I think some of that responsibility also goes on the stars, which is Bron AD.
It does. You're right. And it's also on the coach to make sure that the stars do that. Right, so I keep bringing it back that if LeBron isn't going to do it just because he's not going to do it, or he lost track of it, or he's unaware of it, or whatever, your
coach puts it back together.
I get it. I get that LeBron James is an equal partner in all of this. Then when it comes to coaching and all that, he's LeBron James. The thing runs through him, and it should. That's fine. It's cool. But the head coach can't just be there to clap his hands on the side of the bench. You need to coach the team, and you need to coach the best players, and you need to make sure that all the pieces fit together. And if you can't tell your best player what you need from him and how he's going to fit in better with the other guys, then there needs to be somebody else that can do it, right? Phil Jackson didn't just stare at Michael Jordan and say, well, I guess he'll tell those guys what he needs out of them. I guess that those other guys better figure it out with Michael Jordan. No, Phil Jackson helped those guys fit in with Michael Jordan, fit in with Shaquille O'Neal, fit in with Kobe Bryant, fit in with Scottie Pippen. That the star players are always going to be the most important thing. But if the role players aren't fitting in, you're right, Al. Yes, it's predicated on the star player to insist on you. Hey, you guys need to do this too. But if that's not happening, then the head coach needs to try to make it happen. It keeps coming back to him. It can't always be. And who's telling on himself that they're paralyzed in trying to find a way to get AD and LeBron involved. And he's not wrong, but that's your job to make sure that paralysis doesn't last.
I think we mentioned it earlier in the show even that where we were saying they looked young, they looked fast. It's like because they were playing young and fast.
Loose.
And how do you make sure that still happens when AD and LeBron are also in the court, and how to make it all feel like last night?
I think what you just said, Trav, they were loose. There was, and maybe this just has to do with there's no expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody's walking in that game yesterday thinking like
it's kind of what we were talking about a little bit yesterday, Slea, right? Where just for a night, they basically said, guys, whatever. Just whatever happens, whatever happens.
Yeah.
We don't got to doesn't matter. They're really good. We're struggling. We don't even have our best guys. Just go out there and just give me your best shot. They won.
And listen, and I'm sure there's part of that of Boston kind of having the same mentality.
For sure.
Right? That, okay, hey, they don't have LeBron and Anthony Davis. We just got to walk in here, and sometimes you get hit in the chin, and Celtics got hit in the chin yesterday.
D'Lo said, and talking about how he and his fellow role players kind of filled the void last night, I think that's trust. If you miss shots and you're subbed out, how are you going to feel about that? You're going to feel some type of way. I think as a coaching staff around the league, around all professions, they're successful when they recognize their players are kind of getting lost in the sauce, and they try to find a way to give them some love or find a way to get them something easy, you know? Yeah. And D'Angelo's right.
Okay, so I'm assuming here he's talking directly to the coaching staff, correct?
Sounds like it to me.
And this isn't a, hey, let's poke holes at Darvin. It's not that. His quote, I'm assuming what he's saying.
It is for me, by the way.
I'm assuming what he's saying is, and I like that he said in any profession that anybody who's a professional, if you're going to be successful at your job, you have to know if I fail, I'm not all of a sudden put to the corner and said, hey, you're in timeout, or in basketball terms, you're sitting on the sidelines with me. I need to know that if I fail, I basically got a coaching staff that's saying, who cares? You're going to fail. You're
right.
going to in baseball, if you're batting 250 to 280, you're probably in the lineup, right? And that means you're failing X percentage of the time. And in basketball, and I think this is what D'Angelo is talking about, maybe there is too much of, well, if I take this shot and I don't hit it, there's a good chance I'm going to get pulled out of this game. So I'm going to hesitate to take that shot, or I'm going to be indecisive, or maybe I'm already in my own head. I thought that quote was interesting.
The second half of his quote, I think when you get that trust from your coach, it allows everybody 1 through 15 to go out there and impact winning. They don't care. They know turnover, miss 3 shots in a row, get blown on defense. You still have trust within the group. And last night it wasn't, okay, I missed a couple of shots in a row, or I missed a defensive rotation and a guy got an easy look, and okay, yep, here it is. I'm coming out right. There was no coming out last night. They didn't have enough guys.
I was going to say, do you think that had something to do with it as well? It's not only do you not have your talent, your 2 best guys. Cam is out.
You're
Vando
short.
ends up leaving the game. Gabe Vincent is out. Yep.
You're just short, so they're going to play, and you do find a rhythm, and you are empowered. Like, look, okay, I made a mistake, but I know I'm not coming out. I'll get him the next time. And it's just one of those things that is on the coach to free up role players. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not. The juggling act of make sure your stars are your stars and that you get along with those guys and they get what they need from you. Make sure that you can coach those guys, that you can tell them hard truths when they need to hear hard truths. Make sure that the supporting cast knows that they're there to serve the stars, but at the same time, you can't just disappear and stand around and watch those guys do their thing. You need to make sure that they have the confidence to take a shot, to make a mistake and not get. It's a really hard assignment, but that's the job. And if you're not doing the job, then someone else needs to do the job.
So, also, this is not great news for the Lakers going forward, but this is from Adrian Wojnarowski, just tweeted this out. So, ESPN sources with David McMenamin says that Lakers forward Jared Vanderbilt is expected to miss several weeks with a right foot injury. Further evaluation is expected to see if it's an injury that might keep him even longer.
That's really bad news.
Can I say this, Trav? Does this not seem like in any sport where one small step forward, couple steps back, like just things don't feel like they're going your way? Has there really been any moment this year? And I'm talking about the injuries too, and they've been fortunate, right? They're fortunate that AD's been there, Bron has technically been there basically every game, but damn, there's always something. It could be the play, it could be stuff going on in the locker room, it could be the chatter about Darvin Ham, or it could be what Emily just dropped right here, that Vando expected to miss several weeks with a right foot injury.
their best stretch of the season was right before the play-in and the in-season.
Yeah.
Like right before the in-season and the actual in-season. That was where they get 6 games over 500 or something like that.
I think 14-9 was their best record.
So 5 games. Or no, what is that? Yeah, 5 games over 500. Okay. I mean, really? That's the high water mark? And now you're right back down to even 500. You've had injuries throughout the season, and other than to your 2 best players, and now your 2 best players just missed an important game. Your best player, Anthony Davis, has been really good. Well, he's about to potentially miss another game. That you've actually been a little lucky in some regards, and you still haven't found that groove. That at some point, it's just there is no groove to be found. There is no way out of this. There is no fix to this particular problem. Sometimes it's just broken. You got to throw it away. Sometimes it's just, you know what? Let's try again. Let's start over and try again. That's just the reality of it sometimes. There isn't always a way to fix it. And the deeper into the season that this Lakers season goes, the more it's starting to feel like that's what this is. Not that they're terrible, because they're not, but they're also not very good. They're just kind of one of the teams that's there that might scare somebody, but nobody expects it to be big.
Good thing we got that banner, right? You got to get that banner up early. Got to get that thing around December. Get that bad boy up there in December, Trav.
Hey, banners hang forever, Slea. Banners hang forever.
On this year,
Can't take that away, Em.
On NBA Pro Basketball Reference page for the 2023-2024 Lakers, it'll have just the bolded thing. They were the in-season tournament champions.
That's right.
So at least that's good.
The little badge at the
news.
top of their page. That's right. Speaking of bad news, I got a little bad news. my phone. Carl Weathers died. Apollo Creed.
I saw that.
That's a drag.
That is a drag.
Yeah.
How old was he?
76.
Okay.
76 years old. Apollo Creed, probably his most famous. He was a former NFL player. He was an actor. He's in a bunch of the Rocky movies. He was in Happy Gilmore as Chubbs with the wooden hand that got bit off by the alligator.
That's right.
He had a great
Was
career.
he in Predator, too?
He was in Predator. Yeah,
Yep.
he was. That's right. I'd forgotten about that. He definitely. Jesse the Body Ventura, Carl Weathers, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. R.I.P. to Carl Weathers, 76 years old. Apollo Creed,
just saw
man.
it.
What a
Saw
drag.
it on Twitter as well.
What a drag. All right, so Theo Epstein, back with the team. This is great news for baseball, specifically baseball here in Los Angeles. That's coming up. It's Trav and Slea, 710 ESPN.
Hey, John Ireland here, and I'm at my local Ralph's in front of the BB-Go display, and here's why. The Lakers and Ralph's are doing a sweepstakes, and you could win courtside seats to a Laker game. The question I get more than anything else is, how do I get in those courtside seats? This is how. You come to a local Ralph's, you spend at least $10 on BB-Go. Then you take your receipt and you send it to this web address, Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. That's Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. It's the contest runs from now through February 6th. So all you got to do is go to Ralph's, get some BB-Go, and send in that receipt. Well, as long as I'm here. You can never have enough BB-Go.
BB-Go, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BB-Go.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, Give me Laker tickets. Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
I have a question for all of you. So I didn't get to put this in Factor Cap, but it's Groundhog's Day related. So the concept of the movie Groundhog Day is that you're living the same day over and over again until, you stop living the same day over again. So here's my question to all of you. Would you rather live your best day over and over again, but it never stops? You're just living your best day over and over again, but time stops. You don't continue living after that. That's just the best day over and over again. Or would you rather live your worst day once, but you continue on living after that? You can continue to age, continue to have your life, but you have to live your worst day over one more time.
I'm going to take my best day over and over again, and even if I get annoyed, I'm just going to say, well, it's your best day, and you don't have to deal with any of the hardships, Trav. I'm just going to go with the best day there. Go with the best day.
I still get good days even after my worst day?
Yep, you still get good days after your worst day, and it might be better than the best day you think you had.
Yeah.
But it's just the idea that you will get the best day over and over
The whole
again.
point of all of this, right, is that you can only appreciate the good if you had a little bit of the bad, and you hope you get more good than bad. That just if you did, it's like one of those things. There's an old golf joke. It's not a good joke, but the golfer goes to heaven, right? And in the first day, he shoots even par on the golf course. His best round ever. He made a par on every hole. He shoots 72, best round of his life. The next day, he goes back. He shoots 72 again. He's like, oh, my God, I'm on fire. And the next day, he shoots the same score every day. And he's like, he realizes he's in hell, not in heaven, because there's no variety. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. And no matter – now, if you said just your – Men in Black memory erased at the end of the day and you're starting over, maybe a little different. But if you're just reliving the same day, good or bad, that's no good.
I'm a 72 golfer.
I guess so. Theo Epstein, who won a World Series as the top executive with the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs.
Unbelievable.
Okay, there was not a better
broke 2 curses.
Yep,
2 curses. 2 teams that if you would have told me when I was
come down to San Diego, Theo, we got one too.
Yeah, well, you used to work for the Padres too.
That's right.
I mean, it's crazy enough.
I think he went to USD.
He went to law school at USD.
Yeah.
He's back. He's, according to Jeff Passan, this is a tweet from Jeff Passan. Theo Epstein is returning to the Boston Red Sox. He'll join Fenway Sports Group as a senior advisor. And while he will not be in charge of personnel decisions, his voice should carry enormous weight as the Red Sox figure out how to get back into contention in the brutal AL East. Yeah, I'll say so. And, okay, he will not be in charge of personal decisions. Maybe not, or personnel decisions, I should say. Maybe he's not, going to every scouting meeting and these sorts of things, but he's going to know
influence is
absolutely
be,
that organization will be remade again in the vision that he sees, and it works. And here's the thing. There's only a very small group of teams in Major League Baseball that if they wanted to try to do what the Dodgers are doing, could actually have a pretty good shot at doing it, and this is one. because they have as much money as you could want, right? If they wanted to write checks like the Dodgers, they could. If they wanted to scout and develop like the Dodgers, now that Theo Epstein's there, they can. If they wanted to be able to execute major league roster maneuvers the way the Dodgers have, they absolutely can, because Theo Epstein has proven that they can. And his acumen, his ability, his resume is equal to, if not far better than, Andrew Friedman's. And there are not many people that can say that. And having another great white shark in the tank is good for the sport. That he's back with them. The Yankees could do it. Maybe the Cubs could do it. There's a few others that could really make a go of it. But having that guy in this position all over again is great for baseball across the board.
So help me with that. Why is it great for baseball if it's just basically, do you think what the Dodgers are doing is great for baseball?
If someone else does it with them, yes. If it's just them, like we talked about it the other day, right, where Sasaki is going to come up next year potentially.
Yeah.
If the Dodgers just pick him off the pile too, and the next big free agent in Major League Baseball, if they decide to throw them on the, it's like, what are we doing here?
Aren't we already there?
We're really close, because they're the only ones that are going like super nuclear in this thing, right? That Corbin Burns went to the Orioles yesterday. Corbin Burns is a former Cy Young pitcher and still very, very good.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, cool. Do you know how much better you have to be to get on that level? It's like it's just a midway move, despite the fact that it's a really nice move. But if the Red Sox basically said, you're not going to get Sasaki, watch this, and they just went in and went nuts to do it. And then whoever the next big thing is, they went, you need more than one heavyweight. You can't have a division of a heavyweight and then a bunch of featherweights below it. You need two guys or 3 or 4 or 10 that are really competing the same way.
But aren't the Yankees doing that? They got Juan Soto. They have an incredible roster. They have Aaron Judge. They have Garrett Cole. They have all those guys.
They're trying to do it. They're trying to do it, and it's a good example because, hold on, let me see. They're the number where the Yankees. The Yankees are the 6th-ranked farm system in baseball. They have a huge payroll. They have an attractive market. They're trying, but they haven't been able to do what the Dodgers. They're close. The Yankees went to the playoffs a million years in a row. They're trying, but more is better. More teams like that is better.
I think, Trav, here's the question. I think the question is going to be, will this work for the Dodgers? Because it's not guaranteed. The Dodgers stack the deck as much as you can possibly stack the deck. And this was already an organization that has had a lot of success. They've obviously get to the playoffs. If the goal in baseball, because it's the randomness of baseball, is just at least get to the dance and take your chances, well, they've mastered that. They can get to the dance every time. Now, they're going to end up being crowned the prom king or whatever the case is. Well, no, that it sounds like is much more random. The Dodgers, I think, is going to be the test of, I think you said it, right when they got Ohtani and then they end up with Yamamoto as well. I think you said that.
And by the way, and Glasnow and Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, it's insane.
This is what you said. You said something to the effect of, well, let's give it a couple of years, because if they end up winning 2 of 3 World Series, and this is clearly like, okay, they found a way to, as close as you possibly can to kind of not guarantee them one, but you know what I'm referring to.
Sure.
Then we might be having the conversation of, hey, this isn't good for the sport. This is, if we don't know, if you're walking into a year and you kind of already feel there's only 2 or 3 teams that have a legitimate chance. But I think that's been part of the beauty of baseball is baseball doesn't typically have that.
It doesn't work like that. And it's really never worked like that. We saw the Yankees for a brief moment put together this crazy team, and they punched their ticket, but once. It was, the team that won those 3 in a row in the late 2000s, early.
A lot of them were their own guys.
Most of them, right? Like Andy Pettitte, homegrown. Mariano Rivera,
Derek
homegrown.
Jeter.
Posada, Jeter, Rivera, Bernie Williams. Like the middle of that field was all guys that they had drafted and developed or signed as amateur players. The Dodgers have an interesting mix where they're a little bit more free agent based than not. Mookie's from somewhere else. Freddie, Ohtani, Yamamoto. That they're kind of going in the opposite direction right there. And if it works, and it works over and over and over again, now you got the Globetrotters. So you need to have another Globetrotter on the stage. And the Yankees are trying. The Red Sox with Theo Epstein, I think, will try again. The Astros are doing the best they can with what they have. They don't have the appeal or maybe the deep pockets that the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Red Sox might have.
Building it their own way.
Yeah,
sure.
you got to have a few. You don't need to have 30 teams that are doing it like this, because no sport has 30 teams that are doing it like this. But if you only have one, you got a real problem. Or if the other two or three that are trying can't quite get on that level, then you got the Globetrotters. But they got to win. If they go spend their $700 million on Ohtani and they lose in the second round of the playoffs, everybody's going to be laughing in their face, and they'll be right to do it. They got to punch the ticket, and you know my feelings, Slea. I'm already sweating it, and spring training hasn't even started yet. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but having another really, really smart guy with an organization that has really, really deep pockets and a very rich history is good for the sport.
Did you already buy season tickets?
What do you think? I'd have to sell my car, my house, my kids, my kidneys, everything.
Honestly,
I got no chance.
If you ask Berg, he'd probably want Theo Epstein as the analyst too.
Yeah, he'd want him as Friedman's assistant.
Exactly, because
right?
Bergman wants it all, and that's what he wants to the
That's
Dodgers.
really
He wants
funny.
nothing good for anybody else, and I think that's what fans should want. So, Travis, I don't think you should want Theo Epstein to be in baseball.
Look, I want the Dodgers to win the World Series more than I've wanted anything in a very long time, but I am also a baseball fan. I would like there to be somebody that can go toe-to-toe and give them a fight, right? Like even when Tiger Woods was at his absolute best and was
You
winning.
wanted Sunday to count?
Or at least want Phil Mickelson to show up occasionally and give him a run. Like, I'm Team Tiger. I want to watch Tiger win this stuff. But somebody that could push him a little, because watching him lap the field by 100 shots is fun once or twice, but every time?
But this is what makes the conversation about the Dodgers even more interesting. They haven't cashed in.
No.
And they cashed in 2020, but I mean, I'm talking cash in. Full 162-game season. That's why I think this year, you're right. As much as we consider, or I could be a fan of another team and say, well, why are we even playing the game? They're going to win by 30 games in the division, which they probably will.
They will.
But
it doesn't matter.
Postseason comes, and it's kind of anybody's game.
I can't
Except they added Shohei and Yamamoto
and Glasnow, and Teoscar Hernandez,
They already have
and
a
James
guy named
Paxton,
Mookie, and they got
they
Freddie,
got Mookie,
and I think Bueller's coming back pretty soon.
Bueller's coming
Will
back.
Smith's a pretty good
manager.
player.
Max
Muncy will give him probably 35 to 40 home
He
runs.
hit 35 plus last year. Will Smith is, if he's not the best catcher in the National League, he's second, maybe third, but he's probably not third. You got a
Outman will probably ball out because he gets a second year under his belt.
And he gets to bat ninth. You think he's going to see any pitches with Mookie Betts standing on deck and then Freddie and Ohtani waiting there? They're going to put it on a tee for him.
Skip the season.
Let's go. When does October start? I'm feeling it. It's going to happen. Hot or cold coming up next. It's Travis Slea, 710 ESPN. ESPN Bet is now live. As the official sportsbook of ESPN, ESPN Bet is the only place to find daily exclusive and offers with your favorite ESPN personalities and shows. Sign up today, and new users get $100 in bonus bets for making any sportsbook bet. Find all your favorite markets and bets like in-game wagering, cross-sport parlays, teasers, and all the props that you can handle. That's ESPN Bet. Download today. What a play. Must be 21 plus and present in a legal gambling state. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Coming up today.
Hey, John Ireland here, and I'm at my local Ralph's in front of the BBGO display, and here's why. The Lakers and Ralph's are doing a sweepstakes, and you could win courtside seats to a Laker game. The question I get more than anything else is, how do I get in those courtside seats? This is how. You come to a local Ralph's, you spend at least $10 on BBGO. Then you take your receipt and you send it to this web address, Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. That's Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. It's the contest runs from now through February 6th. So all you gotta do is go to Ralph's, get some BBGO, and send in that receipt. Well, as long as I'm here. You can never have enough BBGO.
BBGO, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets? Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
ESPN Next Gen. Next Gen, the official AC heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week at 12:30 p.m. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to Next Gen. Time for what's hot. How about backyard sports video games? Take it away, producer M.
So Jason Kelsey on his podcast, New Heights podcast, was talking about how he's like, I don't know if I should say this or not, but he's sourcing out to see who owns the backyard sports game franchise. So backyard sports includes backyard football, backyard baseball, backyard soccer, backyard basketball, and it's all these things where they have these kind of like kids play, and like they
Can I ask a real quick question? Is there like a renaissance for these? Are they popular again?
They've been kind of popular in this like subculture. People are like, oh yeah, Pablo Sanchez is the best player athlete of all time because he always has. They always give like, you know how Madden does like the ratings for all these people,
right?
And so, but you could also play with like real NBA players, but like in these kid forms. Like I used to always play with like Kevin Garnett on my backyard baseball. So I loved it. It was like a PC game. So you had these little floppy disks or like PC games. You put it in your computer and you would play it with your sisters or your brothers and stuff like that. And they want to develop it so that you can play it on your phone or on the Nintendo Switch.
So the reason I ask is my oldest son is 23. He loves these games too. Like he is into that thing. And I didn't, because I don't know if that's from childhood thing that he likes again, or there's been like a renaissance of it, or he's just kept doing it. I don't know, but I had never heard of that until about a week ago, and he mentioned it to me and showed it to me. That I just didn't know if that's like a popular retro thing that's coming back again.
Sometimes the
fanny pack of video games.
Sometimes the most simple of games are the funnest, right?
Yeah.
Like think about, and I don't play video games now, and I think, Jorge, you and I were talking about FIFA, Madden, stuff like that. We used to play back in the day.
Tetris was fun, man.
But some of the games they have now are so complicated that it's the simple games are actually the ones that are the funner ones.
Yeah, there's Animal Crossing, there's Mario Kart. There are all these things that are very simple games that are just like turn your brain off. Let's play that.
What was the one where you cut the fruit in half?
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja. That was like oddly just to slice these pineapples up.
There's
that was so
Temple Run, there's Candy Crush,
Yeah.
like all those things that are just like kind of mindless things to play in front of.
How much did, for a while there, and I don't know if it's still popular, Angry Birds? Angry Birds was like, anywhere you freaking went, somebody was playing Angry Birds.
Angry Birds was huge. Em, did you buy your PS5 yet?
I have not bought my PS5. If anyone would like to donate to the PS5 fund,
Yeah, GoFundMe for Emily's video game
Help
system.
Homie Out Foundation.
What was the other option? You were thinking of one or the other?
Nintendo Switch, which is kind of smaller. It has less games, but it's all Nintendo games. Okay, here's the real reason. It's because my group of friends keep on being like, anybody want to go play Mario Kart tonight? Anyone want to play Mario Kart tonight? And I can't participate, and I get left out. So that's where I feel like I need to be a part of the group.
Question.
Mario Kart.
Can you buy one on the secondary market?
Yeah,
What do they cost?
It's
I
still
know what
over
they cost
$100.
new.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still probably like $150 somewhere in there, and then you have to buy the game. And
Okay.
I think I'd like it. My friends are having fun without me.
Yeah. FOMO.
All right, so I'm gonna play. Now it's time for What's Cold.
And now time for What's Cold. Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh, I also got the preposition right, or whatever. What I got right. All right, so it's time for What's Cold. Jim Harbaugh is part of his press conference. I can't really remember what he was asked the question, but I listened to kind of the context around what he was saying here. But he compared himself to Morgan Freeman from Shawshank Redemption.
I could describe it to you, be like Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption. Red. I'm so excited that I find I can't sit still or hold a thought in my head. What a free man would feel before a long journey. I just want to make it across the border. Want to shake my friend's hand. That's how I feel.
So is he feeling like he's like being caged by college football, being caged by Michigan? He has I don't
know where he was going.
He has a lot of excitement for what's in front of him, and he has a whole world in front of him with his NFL. He's very excited to do that. But is that a little bit of like shade towards Michigan and college football?
No, I think he's overselling his enthusiasm for his new employer.
Yeah.
Right? That's what this is. This is I'm
starstruck to see Justin Herbert.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm excited to go to do my next thing. I did the Michigan thing. I won there. I put you guys back on the top of the mountain. I'm on to my next thing, which is what the normal human emotion would be. But because he's Jim Harbaugh and because he's half crazy, he wants to sell it to a degree that, who's got it better than us? Nobody, right? Like he does that whole thing. This is his version of that to Charger fans. Like, man, I'm like red on the bus heading to Zihuatanejo. I'm going out there and we're going to knock it out. I can't imagine what's coming.
Okay,
Easy, dude.
But can you also just, I think taking him for his word, think about what he just did, and he just won a national championship for Michigan. And there's this, and Trav, I guess the point I'm making is that, let's say he lost the national championship game, and there was just this like, oh man, I got that far and I couldn't just cash it in. This guy, it's like, when you have a vacation coming up and you just, whatever it is that you're working, it's like for the next 2 weeks, you got nothing. You got this like excitement. Oh my gosh, look what I just accomplished. The man just accomplished something unbelievable. He wins a national championship for where he went to school, and now he gets to start a complete clean slate with a new chapter.
Who's Hot, Who's Cold is brought to you by NextGen, the official AC heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3-NEXTGen. That's 833-3-NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. There was a brief moment of panic, might be too far. Caleb Williams there was speculation that he was telling the Chicago Bears that I will not come play for you, and then that speculation has since been tamped down a little bit. But it kind of goes back to something we were talking about before the season had started, that coming off of a Heisman Trophy winning season, the presumptive number one pick going into last year's college season, and still the presumptive number one pick coming out of that season, how much leverage would he have? That he's got some money in his back pocket from NIL. Could he dictate terms on where he wants to land, which in football doesn't happen very often, right? That as a drafted player, you and I could talk. There was the Eli Manning case. Well, he's got the Manning name, so he's got a little bit of sway right there, and he's got the economics of it all. He doesn't have to have it. John Elway could go play professional baseball for the Yankees for a while until the Colts figured out that he was never going to come in, and they sent him to the Broncos. Bo Jackson was like, I'm not playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll go play baseball, and waited him out before he could go land with the Raiders. Steve Young had an alternate professional league in the USFL, said, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go over here, and I'll take their money. There really isn't a viable option for Caleb Williams to try to really squeeze somebody to go somewhere else, unless it's just simply, I do not want to play for you, don't pick me, and the other team decides, you know what, if he doesn't want to be here, then let's pick somebody else. That's really the only lane he has left to him.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy. It's a bad look because, okay, let's say hypothetically the Chicago Bears decide, you know what, let's get out of the mix here. He wants to play for the Commanders, or, I mean, you know, you're taking a risk with any franchise that you're on. There's no guarantee that it's going to work, and I understand the Chicago Bears don't have the best history when it comes to sustained success in the NFL. I get that. At the same time, is this kind of how you want to start? You get into your NFL career, you're making a case that you don't want to be with that specific team. Okay, well, what if they end up drafting you anyways? Now it's, I don't know, your relationship with that fan base. This guy doesn't even want to be here. I'm not crazy about it. I think sometimes in life, you know, especially a guy like Caleb Williams, wherever you end up, life's just not perfect. And if you end up with a franchise that is not your top choice and your top priority, and Trav, like you mentioned, you're not in a position where you have plan B, C, D, and E that you can run through. I don't know. Roll up your sleeves and get to work, and maybe you could be the player that helps turn around the Bears
franchise. You could be Joe Burrow.
Sure.
Absolutely.
But you could also be every other number of very talented college football quarterbacks
that's
that
probably
go
more
and get
likely,
ruined.
right?
It's the whole thing is like, if you go to the wrong place, you could be ruined and have not even a second shot at this apple. And he can't.
If you're a good player, you're going to get your opportunities.
Not always.
Not always.
There are really
Not
bad
always.
teams that sink good players.
I think probably, but not always. That look, are we sure Sam Darnold was bad? Are we 100% sure he was bad? I'm not, because the Jets are football cancer. They kill everybody.
Joe Flacco
right?
was there last year
and
sucked.
terrible. He shows up.
But aren't we always going to have some examples, right? Like, aren't you going to be able to have examples one way or the other? Like you just mentioned Joe Burrow. It's not like the Bengals have a history of that what he did for that franchise, and maybe that's just because Joe Burrow is unbelievable and Joe Burrow is a really, really good quarterback.
And they also got Jamar Chase.
And they got Jamar Chase. But again, the Bengals are one of those teams that occasionally pop up and do, like they had Carson Palmer. They've had Chad Ochocinco and TJ Hushmanzada and Steven Jackson. Like they had guys that could play, right? So nothing is either a 0 or 100. There's always some degrees here. And then Darnold goes to Carolina. They're another team that's filled with bozos. They don't know what they're doing. And then he goes to San Francisco where he's a backup. We never really got to see him. What if Sam Darnold lands with Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan or one of these guys? Andy Reid, Matt LaFleur, who clearly has turned Jordan Love into a pretty good quarterback. Like, it matters.
If he doesn't go to the Bears, let's say the Bears didn't use that number 1 pick or they trade or something, where would he most likely land? Where's the next spot he's going to go to?
So 2 is Commanders. If he falls to 2, Commanders will take him. They need a quarterback.
Yep.
If he falls to 3, the Patriots will take him.
Yep.
And that's the 1, 2, 3. They all need quarterbacks, and they will pick a quarterback. 4 is the Cardinals, and they won't take.
I don't think he has the ability to say where he wants to go. I think he has the ability to say, I don't want to
go there.
Yeah. Right? And you can only do it so many times. You can't say, well, I'll only go to pick a team, the Dallas Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys don't pick till 22, or I don't even know where they pick.
Sure.
You can't do that, but you could tell the Bears probably, listen, I don't want to be here. I know I can't stop you from taking me, but I'm telling you I don't want to play for you. I'm telling you there's nothing about this that I like. You're not changing my mind. So if you pick me, you're picking somebody that does not want to be in your building. That's really your only card to play, and hope that team goes, look, if he didn't want to be here, do not pick that guy.
Would you still take him, Trev? You're running that franchise?
If I think he's the guy, I'm taking him anyway. But if there's even a little hesitation that I think he's the best player, but I don't know, like sometimes then I'm moving on to the next guy because I just don't know. But if you're 100% positive that he's the next coming of Patrick Mahomes, then you take him and you say,
and you're being patient and you're selling him.
Yep. I know. I understand how you feel. We're taking you. We're going to change your mind. So Come on, we'll see you when you get here. We're drafting you anyway.
Even if he gets drafted, he can't go and, like, I don't know, say,
5
I'm not going to
years.
you guys. They own his rights for 5 years. So they have to make a trade for a team that he wants to go to, or that he just had to sit out for 5 years. So there's not a lot of leverage in the Caleb Williams department.
Unless he wants to not play. The walk away is I'd rather not play than play for you. I'm calling that bluff. I'm calling that bluff. Yeah, okay, let's see.
Yeah, he's not walking away.
With the number
That's
one
not
pick,
happening.
we take
That's not
Caleb Williams. Prove it to me. I don't think he feels like that. I think he's going to go. I think he'll be pretty good, and then we'll find out whether the Braves, or I should say the Bears, are like the Jets, and they ruin everybody's career.
What was just because I didn't see it, I know in the morning we were talking about there were some rumblings. What was the report that came out that quieted it down?
That it wasn't a report at all. That it was more speculation
Yes.
than a
Colin
report.
decided to say on his show that he got calls to kind of rephrase what he said.
Yeah.
Okay.
That opinion was mistaken.
Why you should listen
for
to
fact.
us.
That's right. Exactly right. That's where we'll leave it. The Dumps coming up next. It's Travis Slea, 710 ESPN.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Hey, John Ireland here, and I'm at my local Ralph's in front of the BBGO display, and here's why. The Lakers and Ralph's are doing a sweepstakes, and you could win courtside seats to a Laker game. The question I get more than anything else is, how do I get in those courtside seats? This is how. You come to a local Ralph's, you spend at least $10 on BBGO. Then you take your receipt and you send it to this web address, Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. That's Lakers.com/BBGO sweeps. It's the contest runs from now through February 6th. So all you gotta do is go to Ralph's, get some BBGO, and send in that receipt. Well, as long as I'm here. You can never have enough BBGO.
BBGO, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Join us on 710 ESPN all day on Thursday, February 8th, 2/8/24 for a celebration of legacy that will be unveiled in greatness forever. Mason and Ireland and Sedano and Cap will broadcast live from the balcony of the Nixo Lounge at the East Central Hotel. Join us in celebrating a day that will be remembered forever. Plus, we'll have a chance for you to win tickets to be in the building on Thursday night for a game that Los Angeles will never forget. Special thanks to our friends at Anheuser-Busch and Michelob Ultra for helping us celebrate a legend.
Most for role
Tom
that
Cruise, Mission Impossible
Tom
11.
Cruise, the firm.
Role that he gets recognized the most for. He's actually been asked. He's on the Oscar tour, Oscar buzz
Nomination?
tour right now because he got nominated, and he's been asked, "What do you get recognized the most for?" And he always says this movie because it is a classic. It's a fantastic movie, and it's Big Fat Liar. Big Fat Liar came out on this date in 2002. So it's turning 22 years old today, and the plot of the movie is a middle school kid writes a script for a movie, and it gets stolen by an evil studio executive played by Paul Giamatti. He goes to the meeting and then says, "Oh, sure, whatever, we'll make this," and then steals the story, and the kids have to prank him to get it back. He turns blue.
What do you mean he turned? You said like he can't breathe?
So no. So they prank him by going to his house and putting blue dye in his pool. And so Paul Giamatti is doing this to I'm hungry like the wolf. And so he's in like a Speedo, and he comes out of his house and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta go swim." And then he goes swims to hungry like the wolf and comes out of the pool.
And his skin gets dyed.
And his skin is dyed. And also they dye his beard orange.
Kill it? Did it kill it?
It killed it in my demographic of 8-year-olds this time. And now we are all millennials, and so it kind of kills it now.
Paul Giamatti, for me, is the guy from Sideways, right? He's that or Pig Vomit from Private Parts with Howard Stern. Those are the two things I think of when I think of Paul Giamatti. And that he's the son of a former commissioner of the Major League Baseball, Bart Giamatti, who told Pete Rose to hit the bricks. That's how I think of Paul Giamatti.
He's also in John Adams, if you ever watched that John
Cinderella
Adams
Man.
miniseries. Yeah,
he's good in Cinderella Man.
He's really good. He's the
Election. With George Clooney and Ryan Gosling.
Isn't he in what's the Billions? Is it
Oh
Billions?
yeah, he is in Billions.
Not Election. Ides of March. That's what I was saying. Ides
Election
of March.
was the Reese Witherspoon one,
and
right?
I love that movie. Yes,
Yeah.
Ides of March. But yeah, that movie's that's right too.
Oh, okay. Jorge's showing me him turning blue. I can see why people remember that. That is messed up. Is that Amanda Bynes? Is she in that
Amanda
movie?
Bynes and Frankie Muniz. Amazing stuff, and it's peak my generation.
That's great. That is absolutely fantastic. It's also the anniversary, 2016, February 2, 2016. FX's version of the O.J. Simpson story debuted. They serialized it. The People versus O.J. Simpson American Crime Story was released, and it did a pretty good job. Like it wasn't quite O.J. Made in America, which 30 for 30 did, which was awesome. But the FX version of the O.J. story was pretty good, other than the casting of O.J. Cuba Gooding is not a big guy. O.J.'s enormous. He's a huge guy.
Right now, even I'm coming into work early.
Okay.
So that
What's
I
in
can
the bag?
have this comment here right now. That O.J. that O.J. Real series.
The
that was
FX series.
The FX series. Okay, first of all, this is Momo, by the way.
Hi, Momo.
You're supposed to introduce me.
I was going to. You just
But I will
you just
introduce
jumped
myself.
in. You just jumped in on me.
Let me introduce
Plus,
myself.
you brought in a bag of food, and I'm
OJ's
distracted.
I got smoothies.
Oh.
You want some? I'll get
No,
you
I'm
something.
okay. I'm okay.
So
Momo, by the way.
that FX Made in America, the OJ one, was revolutionary.
It's great.
Okay, it's called. There's one of the first quote unquote docudramas. Now those are Law and Order is like ripped from the headlines, but they didn't do event casting like that did.
No.
Okay, so when I was watching that is the one that every time I was doing the Sterling Affairs, I would say, oh, it's like the Sterling Affairs needs to be like the OJ, the OJ FX series, where it's event casting.
Okay.
It's like so exciting to say who's going to play Robert Kardashian. It's
Sure.
David Schwimmer.
Okay,
What?
so I was going to ask you this.
Like all those people were.
So of I'm going to give you three options, Momo.
Yeah.
The one that stuck with you the most for whatever reason, you liked it the most, you disliked it the most. Schwimmer as Kardashian.
Okay.
Travolta as Bob Shapiro.
Oh, so great.
Or Courtney Vance as Johnny Cochran.
hold on.
Those are the 3 options I'll give you.
Oh my gosh, we are so tangled.
Yeah. We'll get you some headphones.
My answer is the Johnny Cochran casting is so good.
Courtney B. Vance.
Yes, and also I really do think that is Sterling K. Brown
As
Christopher
Chris Darden.
Amazing, and then Sarah Paulson as Marsha Clark.
Oh, she was good in that too.
So
Yeah.
good, and then the producing team who did that. They just put Sarah Paulson in everything.
Yeah,
right? Like
she
Sarah
was in
Paulson was in she was Linda Tripp. She was amazing in
Is
Impeachment.
she in your show?
She is not. However, it is the same producing team.
Okay.
So the producing team is Color Force, and it's Brad and Nina Jacobson, Brad Simpson, and then Ryan Murphy was part of that group back when the OJ Made in America.
Yeah.
He's a big star now and he does his own thing, but he's still sort of somewhat involved. And so I remember when the podcast came out and I kept getting these calls from Nina Jacobson, I was like, oh my God, this was my vision the whole time. And so I met with other people, but it was always
Once you got
going to
that
be
call,
her.
that was
I was like,
that was it.
I'm going to be the easiest sell ever. You were my inspiration.
Go ahead, Slea.
Okay, so is it, let's say, are these series just really done on the OJ story and the history and everything else? Or in 10, 15 years, they're going to come out with another series like this, and people are just really, really interested in how the whole thing unfolded, the history behind it, and everything else, or both?
All of the above. The OJ story is almost timeless.
It's like asking if there's going to be another Marvel movie.
Right. You can't tell the story enough because there was never anything like it. We probably won't have anything else like it.
No.
It tells the story of Los Angeles. It tells the story of race relations. It tells the story of the American judicial system. It tells of fame and celebrity and reality TV. All of these things were in one story at the same time.
And it launched an entire franchise,
Absolutely.
American Crime Story.
Yep.
Then the same production team did Versace, which was really scary.
And aren't they doing the Sterling?
They are doing the Sterling.
Also did the Bill Clinton one.
And Impeachment. And there's
Impeachment,
also another one in the pipeline on Aaron Hernandez. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I just did, so it's okay.
I think
by
it
the
is
way,
announced.
I think it's been announced. Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, no,
I don't just say no more.
I know.
I'm in.
Weird.
Especially
That's just
'cause it's them.
Crazy story.
Yeah. What did you see the Netflix one on Aaron Hernandez?
I don't think so, but I just wait for the Color Force because those are my people.
Yeah, the Aaron Hernandez one will.
I was like,
keep your attention.
it's the event casting. That's what it's called. It's like who's going to play these small little roles and like in my show there's a role that Shelley Sterling, his lawyer, plays a big role. His name is Pierce O'Donnell. You know who plays him in our show? Corbin Burnson.
Awesome.
Oh,
LA
LA
Law.
Live. So fun, right?
Third base for the Indians in the Major League movies.
Yeah.
So here's the thing I don't understand. I have spent much of my career as an actor.
Much.
You could not get me into this.
I tried.
Even as a
I thought you had a
reporter,
role as a
an
reporter.
Extra. No, I got nothing.
I
out
tried.
of this.
I put you on the
Nothing.
list.
Yeah, it's
I
on the list. I should have been the list.
They took Plashke over you.
Oh my
They did.
God.
Plashke was the only one. So what happened was I gave them a list. I said, "Can you recommend some
can't act.
reporter types?"
Yeah.
Okay, and we want the schlubby-looking journalist types.
Oh well, that is Plashke.
Gosh.
What?
Mace, you
Well,
cleaned
look,
up
before
yourself.
you
Look at you.
decided
You
to
got
up your
jackets.
game,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
were the center of the bullseye, my friend.
And then I was supposed
Yeah.
to recommend a different type of a local news reporter who would have credibly covered the show.
John Ireland.
No. For news.
Okay, so,
there were
when I
two
was-
reporter roles. One was sports reporter to ask a question in the press
So you're looking like a
conference.
Paul Moyer type sort of situation?
No. I'll tell you who he was. Okay, you're jumping ahead in the story.
Okay, got it.
So I wrote a list and I gave 10 names.
Yep.
Okay, you were, I think, number 1 on the list.
It was 1 or 11.
They passed.
I think you were number 1. Hold on,
I
didn't I
feel like
send it
Leo
to you?
at the Oscars. I've been
You were top 10, Mace. You were top 10.
I put
10.
you
I made the
number
top
1
10.
on the list. I was like, I got to take care of my guy. I know this is important to him. So I put you on the list.
Yep.
Then I put Jim Hill. Because I
Well,
thought
'cause
he's
he's
not
Jim Hill.
because we wanted like instant credibility. Like we wanted people in LA to be like, "Oh, that's really Jim Hill." Oh my
Sure.
God. Then I put Plashke. Then I put Ireland. I put Sedano on there further down the list.
Oh, okay, good. No, I mean,
It's true. Yeah. And then I gave them some local news reporters who I thought would be great. So my girl, the one who ended up getting this role, okay, Beverly White. Do you remember Beverly White from NBC
Channel
News?
4. Yeah.
Channel 4.
Wasn't she Channel 7?
No, she was Channel 4.
Channel 4. Channel 4 forever.
I was a Channel 4 man,
And
so I
this
know
is
all the
another
reporters.
way back story, okay? Back when I was sort of flailing around in my 20s looking to hook on and do something good in my career, and I was getting frustrated at the Daily News because I wasn't moving up and the industry sucked, I went and got an internship at Channel 4 when I was like 26.
Yep.
I had to get work experience credit from Pierce College just to
qualify for the internship.
To not get paid for my internship.
Yeah, like all of our interns have to
exactly.
get course credit.
So I had to go and get like a student ID from Pierce and go take a work experience class. And I went and I like logged tape for Fred Rogan and I logged interviews and stuff. And then Beverly White was the nicest person who worked there. She said, if you ever want to come out in the field with me, I'll take you out. I said, okay. Oh my God, I would love to do that. So we went on a couple ride-alongs, and she would like teach me how she was doing what she was doing. And then she goes, if you want to tape a stand-up afterwards and use it for your reel, you can. We'll have the cameraman do it.
Please tell me you still have it.
I don't think I still have that reel.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know if I still have it, but I could probably maybe I'll look. It was like probably like VHS or something. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
right?
it was probably like it was a while ago. So. Anyway, she was like really nice to me. She was the one who really like. She didn't just stick me with her transcription or watch this and write like. She really taught me stuff, and so I have always been cool. I've always like shouted her out, and then when we covered Sterling together, she was outside the courthouse with me.
Okay,
and so she was outside Donald Sterling's house, and I was like, I mean, she really was there. Like this is her role. And so that's who they cast.
That's perfect.
No, good.
And it's another one of those
You
LA
just lost out to
credibilities.
Plaschke. That's what happened.
Plaschke.
I told him you have a SAG card. I told him everything.
Of course, I've got
We all do.
We all
I know.
Right,
I
yeah.
have one too.
Yeah.
I
in
know.
the union.
So
but I think he has one too.
Most, you know what we should do before I ask you my
Okay.
question?
It's probably
What
just
is
the
it?
look.
We
He was
should do a
schlubbier
little
than you.
super
Schlubby,
crosstalk.
They went schlubby.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slea?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Felt like I was sitting here observing an episode of Inside the Actor's Studio.
Oh,
You said something that was like, oh, they were looking for a look, not a part.
Yeah, they were looking for a look. They weren't looking for an actor. They went Plaschke because he's schlubbier.
He's gonna hear
Hope
about
he hears
this.
Yeah. I hope he writes a column.
Yeah.
Spell my name right, Bill.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Best stunt casting, and we're talking about the OJ series because today is the anniversary of the premiere.
Okay.
David Schwimmer as Kardashian. Travolta as Bob Shapiro.
Yep.
Courtney B. Vance as Johnny Cochran.
Courtney B. Vance.
Yeah.
Or Sterling K. Brown as Chris Darden.
Oh, that's a really
Sarah
good
Paulson
one.
as Marsha Clark.
Very good. Yeah, she was great.
She was so good.
They all fell into the roles. I think for me, it was Travolta as Shapiro because I only saw Travolta. Like
I'm with you on that.
It never
Yeah,
felt like
I'm
Shapiro.
with you on that.
He
Yeah.
was always Travolta.
He was also always Schwimmer.
That's right.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was-
that's
But it was
true.
fun seeing like these big guys in that role.
Right. Now you've got who's playing Doc in your series?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah. Lawrence I mean, come
Perfect.
on, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah,
On the
and
money.
then Donald Sterling is played by Ed O'Neill.
Excellent.
Oh, very good.
And Shelley Sterling is played by a great Australian actress named
Jackie Weaver.
Okay.
You probably
Fantastic.
you would know her if you saw her.
Yeah.
Like
What's her name?
Jackie Weaver. She was in like Silver Linings Playbook.
Silver Linings
and
Playbook. Yeah, that's a good one. She was in Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh yeah.
She did Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
which was a great movie. The Australian movie is fantastic.
When is it out?
I think May.
Oh,
Oh, we're getting close.
counting down.
Okay.
Getting close.
Counting
I
down.
think. I never hear these.
You didn't
they
flex
move.
your muscles as EP to get Mace the schlub reporter role?
I wrote a very detailed thing.
I would have gained weight for the role.
Mace,
like
that's
De Niro in
commitment.
Raging Bull?
That's commitment right
I'd
there.
have gained weight. I could give Plaschke a run.
Like here. This is the thing. You
Plasti's
realize
taking strays for no reason.
Jeez.
it's okay. He got the role.
Yeah.
Like, he gets
By the way, Plaschke's like me. He doesn't mind.
No, I
Yeah.
know he doesn't.
Just spell his
I
name
know he
right.
doesn't.
I-
Who the
it's
hell-
very
I don't
hard
even
to
know
spell.
how the hell.
What's up with Ron
spell.
Burgundy today?
Oh, I thought this shirt
Yeah.
was a stretch goal. It didn't fit for years and
Yeah,
years.
I get it.
man.
Now,
Aspirational T-shirt.
You know what? I have a shirt like that. It's my White Lotus shirt.
Oh.
I bought a shirt from the White Lotus, like when it was on. I bought
Did
from the
you really?
HBO show, and it came in a size that was too small, and I have not been able to wear it, but I'm going to get there. I'm like 5 more pounds away from being able to wear it.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
I'm going to wear my White
I've
Lotus
got
shirt.
the I'm kind of a big deal shirt.
So
Awesome.
there's a section of the closet in my bedroom that is stuff that
We
I
all
would
have one.
like to wear
Yeah,
that
we all have
I
that.
can't quite get there, but you're always like, you know what? It's the goal. How often? So you got one on today.
I do.
You said you're close. That stuff is collecting
Doesn't
dust.
everybody now, Slea, you're
Yeah.
probably not in this category because
No, Mace.
fat
Listen,
clothes.
no,
I've got-
guys,
I've
stop.
got
We
a
all do.
whole closet full of fat clothes.
100%.
I could easily drop, and I'm sure many people, I could easily drop 10 or 15. I need to, and I haven't done it. What you're saying, Mace, about having that section in the closet, I have shirts there. I'm like, yeah, that button should not be. Why is this such a. I'm like working out my arms just to get that button, and no, you can't wear that, Al.
Yeah, that one doesn't work.
Yeah, that one
doesn't work. Yeah, I'm also giving away a bunch of stuff to like stuff. Your closet. My closet was just like a pile of clothes. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to find a way through this. So I'm giving some stuff away. I'm actually folding clothes.
Okay, hold on
which
a
is
second.
a brand new thing for me. Folding clothes.
Do you do your own laundry?
I do.
Okay, so you do the laundry.
Yep.
You take it out of the dryer.
Yep.
You just throw it in the closet.
What happens with me? I'll grab it and I'll just stick it where all the hoodies go, or stick it where all the sweatpants go, or stick it where the
But
jeans
you at least
go.
sort it into categories.
They're in categories. Yeah,
Yes, sections.
I've got
There's sections.
A different pile for everything. I'm not the only
You
one.
have
by
a
the way.
pile of T-shirts in your closet.
Pile of T-shirts.
Okay, Mace, I got a
absolutely.
question. Do you have,
pile
do you
of
have
T-shirts.
Mace, do you have too many clothes?
I do.
I have way
Okay.
too many clothes.
I've got
Okay.
a stack.
Can
I've got a pile of Lakers T-shirts, a pile of
Yep.
Rams T-shirts, a pile
Can
of
I-
USC T-shirts.
Why not fold
Can
them
I
and
give
put
a
them in
suggestion?
drawer?
Yeah, Slea.
Mace, do this, and I think we all can do this. Go to Goodwill. Just like get rid of as much of that stuff as you can.
Yeah.
It's going to go to good use. I mean, how much do all of us just have way too much clothes that we haven't worn in a long time? And there's a good feeling about, okay, I got that out of my closet. Maybe I have more space. Maybe it's just more it's more simple to pick from, and then you're giving it to somebody that can use them.
Yeah, I'm looking at stuff saying, I am never going to wear that again.
Get rid of it.
Like never, ever, whether it
Then
fits
get rid of
or
it.
not,
Yeah.
I'm
Get rid
not
of it.
going to wear it.
The good rule of thumb, like this goes for like the kitchen too,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Do you remember the last time you used it? If the answer is
Oh,
no,
that's a
throw
good-
it away.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time you wore
That's
that
good.
shirt? If the answer is I don't remember when I wore it, throw it.
Some of those, it's been
give the
years.
clothes away, but get rid of
But
it.
I agree with that. If you know that you're never going to wear it, even if you like, I have certain things that I bought once, and I thought, you know what, it's not really my style, but I looked good when I tried it on, and then I've never worn them.
Never worn.
Like tag still on.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like just give it away. If you haven't worn it in a year, you're not going
You
to.
have stuff you bought that you never put on
Yes.
your body.
Yes, 'cause, like
Me
it
too.
looked
I'm
like
same
it looked
thing.
good when I tried it on. I was trying to convince myself of a different look.
Okay.
But it's just not my thing, and so I never wear it, and it just sits there even
Somebody
with the
gave
tags
it to
on.
you as a gift, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, that's
Yeah,
never going
exactly.
I'm going to wear
You
that.
got piles of crap.
Yeah, piles. Piles of clothes.
Oh man.
It's very good to declutter your life.
Yeah, it is. It is. So,
So
you know
did-
who's coming in today?
O'Shea.
O'Shea is going to
Yeah,
be here.
Very
yeah.
nice.
Exciting.
I'm kind of hoping I get to run into him.
He said he'd be here at 12:57, so he's running a little bit late.
Okay.
Well, Momo, what got into you? You got here before Supercross Talk today.
Well,
She was excited.
I
The
got
OJ
good traffic
talk.
on my way in, and it was usually it takes me longer to get here, and it just was good traffic on the 101.
Friday light.
And I ordered a Postmate to deliver to the office. I got a smoothie because I didn't really have time to like make my lunch or anything.
Right.
And so I had to meet the Postmate out front.
Yeah.
So then it was like 12:43, and I was like, well,
The name Momo and the words on time rarely appear in the same
what do I
sentence.
do with all this extra 8 minutes here?
Okay, I got a question for you. I am somebody that is so preoccupied, obsessed, borderline compulsive about being late that I almost always show up way too early.
So what do you do in that extra
I'm
early
happy to
time?
just sit tight and wait for the appointment. Like if I have a doctor's appointment, right? I got a doctor's appointment at 3 o'clock, and if I roll in at 2:15, I'll wait in my car.
I
in
can't remember the
parking lot.
last time I was early. For
How
one.
does that not freak you out?
Okay,
I don't know
Trev,
how you.
didn't you
Like,
say
if it was, it's
Susan?
just because it was next door to where I was
What about
before.
airplanes? Do you just barely make it every time?
Every time.
Oh,
That-
wow.
like
No, I
every
can't do
time.
that.
me,
Not
you and
airport, I
me.
can't
Oh,
do
that's
it.
right. Me and Momo had a very close
I
call
was
at
like,
one point.
we were like, we're gonna make this flight. We're gonna make it. And I think we were texting like,
yes,
I just parked. You're like, I'm 5 minutes behind.
And missing it, it's like, I'll just get the next one.
I never miss it.
But
Airport,
you
I'm
might.
too nervous.
That's the part
Airport,
that
I'm too
turn off.
nervous.
You
But I
might
won't.
miss
But
it.
listen, but I won't.
Yeah.
And that is the fun. It's like
It's
I
the
have
challenge.
It's the challenge.
Yeah.
It's like, well, to bring up
It's the
OJ
rush.
again. It's that OJ running through the airport and hopping over the chairs and stuff with the what's that? The Hertz commercial?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I live for that.
Yeah.
There is nothing worse.
Yeah, but
do
that
you know, Do you know
commercial,
the highest
Momo.
moment I've had in a minute in like the last year was when I got to Burbank Airport. I think I was coming from here, and I was trying to catch a flight up to Sacramento for a playoff game or whatever. And I made it to Burbank. It was bad traffic. It was this. I made it to Burbank Airport 23 minutes before my flight. And I was like, I'm never going to make this. Oh, my God. I'm going to miss this flight. And I parked. I did the valet at the perfect spot. I copped a jog on the way through security. I went right, and I know where the secret entrance is at Burbank Airport. And then I went right through the TSA. And then I got there, and I go, oh, my God. It's A8. So it's not A1 or A2.
end.
It's an entire jog. And I was like, it's a good thing you've been working out, Momo. Let's go. Cop a jog. Let's go. Let's go.
And you
I
made it?
made it like just as they were getting on, like no big deal. The flight wasn't full. I got a good seat. I was like,
Trav, I'm with you.
that
I
was
can't
just
do airport.
So
That's too
thrilling.
nerve wracking.
I can't do
It's too
any of
nerve
it.
wracking.
Oh, there he is.
I can't. There he is. There he is.
Do you know how Travis? Like, I'm still talking about. It's like when people tell you about their poker wins.
Yeah. Fantasy football, golf scores.
Mine is
Football,
about
right?
making the flight. It's like, oh God, it was so thrilling.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a
23
bit.
minutes all-time record.
I'm not doing this to be. Your story is creating anxiety for me.
Oh, really? The story itself.
The story.
God, what a rush.
Here's what it is. My wife lives her life like you do.
What a rush.
And I can't do it. Like the idea, can we please leave at 3:00? Yeah, sure. I'm genuinely asking you.
Right.
Tomorrow, can we leave it? Please do it. Can we leave at 3? Yeah, I'll be ready to go at 3.
know.
Yeah.
And it's 3:45, and we haven't even put a thing in the car yet. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I used to be late.
higher.
I used to
can't
be
do
late
it.
for everything. Then I realized it's not. It's disrespectful to
Yeah.
the other people.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the problem.
Well,
That's the
What's
problem.
Susan,
up?
did you hear
Hold
that?
on. Where's
It's
the music? We need some
disrespectful to me.
music, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
need some
do.
welcome music.
Jay is here. What's up, man?
Oh, Shay Jackson in the house. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking good. Looking good.
Mics will work.
You know, I love when I get to beat the Celtics without LeBron or AD. It's great to rub it in their fans'
How about
faces.
that, huh?
Right.
We don't
unexpected.
even need them. We don't even need them.
Oh,
Does
don't
it
say
change
that.
how you feel
About who?
about the team?
A little
right?
bit, but
Really?
not about him.
Yeah,
Not about him.
Oh, we
Not
cover a
about
lot
him.
of that.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said, those guys need to play like, LeBron and AD aren't here. We got to find out. Isn't that your job to make sure that happens?
Exactly.
Isn't that
And-
exactly what the coach is here to do?
And you can't tell me that some of those Austin Reeves threes were drawn up. You can't tell me that was part of your plan. And, it showed that the guys have fight. It's one of those annoying games that makes you believe. You know,
Yeah.
it gives you
sucks you back in.
It gives you
Gives
hope.
you hope.
Yeah, and it's just like this is what makes us the scary team to face in the playoffs, but we just got to see it on a more consistent basis.
It's not happening now.
No, it's not.
I mean,
No, it is
honestly,
not.
it feels like, remember we were all excited after they beat Golden State.
Yep.
Then they tanked 2 games in a row to really bad teams. Now they pull this off without AD and
Okay,
LeBron.
but here's the thing. Beating Golden State, was it a fun game to watch? Absolutely. Was it a cool
Very
ending?
entertaining.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Celtics, it's always good to beat the Celtics.
Yeah.
Team's still the team. Team's still the team.
Yeah.
The team is still a mediocre team. They're not bad. They're not very good. They're a mediocre team.
They're 500.
Yeah. We'll talk to Momo about this, but if they want to really make a run, they need to make a significant move at the trade deadline.
They got 6 days to do it.
Yeah, they do. They got
Super crosstalk.
hurry up. It's getting late early.
Brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about. See you, buddy.